Com.
Good morning, and welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner at its new regular-ish time, Monday and Wednesday from here on out. So this is kind of a season premiere of sorts. I need to sip another Pete's for the working man and woman out there. And if you're listening at work, thank you for choosing me over your job and your livelihood. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Let's bring the music down a little bit, or all the way, shall we? And get rid of this so I can say hello! Hello! What a day! What a morning! I saw somebody bring this up in the chat. We got a Mahler video. We got a Mahler video, and that is a good thing. I was only able to watch an hour of it at the gym prior to all of the show prep I did, which consisted of last night watching the Collider town hall meeting, which was interesting. I have some thoughts about that, although I admittedly never watched much Collider. But it's a lesson we can all learn, positive and negative. And it's also foreshadowing something that's actually kind of dire and grim that I will discuss later. We also had Ricky Gervais, legend. We also have the typical criticism. He's alt-right now, so he might as well claim fandom menace, and we know he's the furthest thing from right that we know. But this is the strange bedfellows you find yourself in when you're about free expression, free speech, live and let live, independent thought, individualism. Because unfortunately, we're not a collective. We're not a hive mind, and we'll get into that. And, you know, it's all part of the Dave Chappelle effect, which I talked about, Jeremy talked about earlier this year. The tide is turning, and it's going to be enjoyable to watch, but they're not going to give things up that easy. We still have Doctor Who out there. I just watched The Watchmen, which was the most try-hard woke thing I've ever seen, period. And it's right down there with Star Trek Discovery is the worst television I've ever watched. That and the first episode of The Twilight Zone, which is the only one I could stomach. Yes, Ricky Gervais, legend. Darth Scipio says he's a pussy. What, did he apologize? I hope not. You know what? It doesn't even matter. The damage is done. What he did needed to be said. It was nothing original, but it was something that needed to be said and needed to be done. It's all about timing, love. It really isn't about the originality of the jokes or anything. It needed to happen. And then we had Michelle Williams, you know, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Jesus Christ, woman. That was a bit much. There's just things I don't want to get down that, we don't talk about politics here, but decorum, tact, self-awareness, maybe. I don't know. But I do want, and we of course need to talk about the fall of Skywalker and the release the JJ cut. Please don't. I'm glad my friend Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers and his crew, Mary Mayhem, Lethal Lightning, RK Outpost, all Josiah, Odin, all of them got that thing rolling. That shows the power of Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace. But for God's sakes, please don't release that cut, because I'm gonna have to review it. I love the solution for a horrible kinetic gobbledygook movie is more Jar Jar. Let's throw more Jar Jar at it. That'll help. No, not at all. Jesus. Come on, people. Now, if there's a Lucas cut out there, I'd be interested in seeing that. I would. But I don't know if there is. I don't know if we'll ever see one. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't release an extended cut. Oh, we're going to break the Star Wars tradition. You crapped all over the Star Wars. There is no Star Wars tradition left. There's no formula left. Release director's cuts. Go ahead. It's not like Lucas hasn't changed his whole work throughout the years, so there's no tradition in it at all. And, the greatest trilogy of all time, The Lord of the Rings, released theatrical cuts that were shorter and very, very good, and then they had director's cuts, extended cuts that were even better. Even better. The 12 endings at the end of Return of the King, I love every second of it. It's a perfect film. It's a perfect movie. And yes, it's about walking, because that's what people had to do. And I would rather watch Frodo and Sam walk for 5 hours than Poe and Finn lightspeed skip for 3 seconds. Greatest trilogy of all time, Lord of the Rings. It's settled. It's settled. And, we could debate what's better, The Hobbit or the prequels. I'll say The Hobbit, but that's me. Excuse me. So, there's a few less shows on YouTube now, because Collider, right after the holidays, canceled a bunch of their shows that I didn't watch, but I know a lot of you did, and a lot of you enjoyed them, and that's cool. And what Collider set out to do, I respect. They tried to be the ESPN of movie talk, which they could still be, but what I didn't see addressed in that town hall. And listen, I don't know the guy, Mark something, the guy who was the CEO, and he took it over later, and John Campia left. Again, I didn't watch Collider, so I'm not going to criticize it too harshly, other than what I did see was through my research for watching videos, all the times they talked about toxic fandom. They really pushed that narrative. They really were strong proponents of pushing the toxic fandom narrative. That part I'm going to remember. That part I'm not going to forget. That part helped create the Fandom Menace. Collider's responsible, along with the Access Media. I've largely kept other YouTube channels out of my videos and out of my arguments, because I really don't like to besmirch people on the platform I exist. I kind of see us as kind of co-workers. So we don't really want to do that. But we can learn from this. A lot of the criticism towards Mark was him not giving his employees enough notice. And I agree with that criticism in this case only. As a former business owner myself, California is an at-will state, and you can fire people whenever you want. The thing is, when you're doing something so publicly, you should do it. I think you should have given him more notice. And listen, his argument, which I don't think he came out and said, was if you give them too much notice, they're going to go on your channel and direct traffic away or talk shit about you. You know what? So what? If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it anyway. So give them enough notice. And listen, the hard truth is he needed them through the holidays. And once the holidays were over, and once Star Wars was over, he didn't need them anymore. Which sucks. But they were all freelancers. And that was part of the reason I ditched Hollywood, because Hollywood, that's all they pretty much do is hire freelance. They hire you as a contractor. They don't hire you onto the company. So every 6 months, you're worried if you're going to lose your job. It's not a great way to live, especially if you're on, like I was, the lower end of things in post-production and stuff. There was no security whatsoever. and I was juggling something else too at the time. But I certainly had my share of experience down there, and that's the way it goes. It's all about what can you do for me right now. It's strategic friends, but no real friends. So he came out and, it must have been hard for him. And listen, I could sympathize with the guy in this. I know what it's like to spend a bunch of money on something that you love and it's sucking you dry, your bank account and your soul. I know what it's like. And that sucks, but that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided if you didn't push the toxic fan narrative. I do believe that they probably lost a lot of viewers because of that. And when you're calling people toxic fans, I doubt you intended to do this, but you're insulting your own viewers because some of those viewers were those toxic fans who didn't like The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens. And again, whether you intended to or not, when you throw that narrative out there, you're going to offend somebody you don't mean to offend. So it's better, I cover a lot of Access Media articles, and some I won't bring up because they take the time to go, listen, this isn't everybody. We're talking about some anonymous people on Twitter. The worst of the worst are anonymous people on Twitter. There are some of us here in the Fandom Menace who get pretty salty. But I've never, ever, ever heard any YouTuber that I subscribe to say anything racist or negative towards Kelly Marie Tran. That narrative is so dead. The worst, which was actually funny, was Ethan's humor about it. And it wasn't bad at all. It was actually a reverence. It became reverence. It started out a little sarcastic, but it became reverence. And everybody could see that. But people used it against Ethan and the Fandom Menace. And that's disingenuous. And again, people saw through that. So when you were pushing the Kelly Marie Tran narrative on your channel, people go, wait a minute, that's not exactly how it went down. That's not, because we're watching you and Collider, which means we watch other YouTubers. And we don't, at least those of us here in the Fandom Menace don't assume our viewers and our friends part of this because you're more than a viewer. You're way more than that. You participate in that. You're in this chat. People see this. We don't think you're idiots. But they, Hollywood, they all think we are. And, I might be. I will consider that I'm an idiot, but I don't think you guys are. So Ricky, this all ties in. This has all been building up for so long, since 2015. I think about my journey on YouTube, and it was accidental. Of course, like a lot of you, I got tired of the mainstream media and the Access Media. I just started sniffing out that they weren't telling me the truth. The Force Awakens, I didn't like it. And I thought I was going crazy. I found Jeff at World Class Bullshitters. I wanted to find out what was going on with comics. I found Zach at Diversity in Comics, and now it's your boy Zach. And I was, and when comics got that bad, I wasn't surprised. And it even got worse. I saw it coming. I didn't think they would bear the industry though, which they have right now. And I don't know if you guys heard with what they're doing with DC Comics. They're going to age everybody out. Now, I don't know all the details on this. I just saw a What a Culture video on this, but they're going to age everybody. Batman's going to be 60. And they're going to replace everybody. Like Batman's going to be Lucius Fox. Superman's going to be Connor Kent, although Superman doesn't age really. DC with Rebirth was on the right path, and they just shoot themselves in the foot every goddamn time. Damn Didio. I know some people like him. I don't. I never have. Because every time they take a step forward, they take 5 steps back, and I've been watching that for years now. And every time they have good books, they stop. In the early aughts, DC was very, very good. Like really, really good. Way better than Marvel. And then, there was a great time for comics between 2005 and 2012. Like that was probably the last good run the comic industry had. Some great stories that you can find. Paul Dini's Zatanna is just like one that's off the top of my head that they canceled for New 52. So much good. The Guardians of the Galaxy, when they brought that back, the whole movie was ripped off from that book. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Annihilation was better than Civil War. It was a better crossover than Civil War. If you can get the trades for that, it is magnificent. What a culture. Yeah, I used to like them a lot. That's the only, I just kind of hang on. I don't unsub from people. I still sub to like new rock stars and What a Culture. The only person I still like, because he hasn't changed at all, yeah, DC Boomers for sure, is Charlie at Emergency Awesome. But the rest of them are shills. Because EVS was working for DC then. That's true, Frankie. That is true. That is true. But the inmates run the asylum with comic books now, and it's the same with the retailers. The retailers could never get it together, could never form a singular voice when they had the power to change things, because so a bunch of them still have their heads in the sand about this. And I can honestly say I'm glad I do not sell new comics right now. I couldn't do it. Half my shelf would be empty because, out of principle, I couldn't carry, say, a Mark Waid book. I would never carry a Mark Waid book. Anybody who suppresses an individual from making a comic book about some G.I. Joe guys, which is right here, by the way. If you guys don't think I support this stuff, hang on. Just so you know. I got my frog book. My little frog book. My stickers. I love the presentation of that. And I've got my my Jawbreaker book. So I also have Hellboy. Had that out. I was Nerdrotic Jr. was reading that. So I still read comics once in a while. So Collider, the lesson we can learn from Collider is be honest. People can see through that. The audience can see through that. We can sniff it out. And we are in a big paradigm shift that's just bigger than YouTube, bigger than stars in Hollywood. The format is changing. Everything is changing. The streaming wars are going to lay waste to Hollywood. There's only going to be a few winners of this, and two of them are going to be right up here where I live. So Hollywood's going to move to Silicon Valley for the most part. Everybody throwing dirt on Netflix a little too early. Shouldn't do that, considering now that we've experienced Disney Plus. And now we see why Disney bought Fox. They wanted Hulu, and they needed Hulu because Disney Plus just doesn't cut it. I mean, it's nothing. It's really weak. The Mandalorian's okay, but it's pretty weak. And honestly, I would say The Witcher is a major hit for Netflix. It's a major hit. Shit! My Witcher video did gangbusters. Out of nowhere. I didn't think it would do well at all, but people really responded well to that, and I love the show. So I'm going to give it a proper review. I'm still working on it. It'll probably be out Thursday or Friday morning. I don't care if nobody watches it. I watched it 3 times through, and I liked it even more. But I see a lot of people mentioning my friend Mahler. His video was so good. It was 20 minutes in, and I think they were still on the first initial scene for Exegol. So Mahler. It was great. He's on point. So I don't know how you guys feel about Collider. I watched the live stream. I actually felt bad for everybody involved. Nobody likes to see people lose their job. I don't want to dance on anybody's grave. So the title is more, not everybody at Collider was a shill. All right. Hashtag not all. I'll say the majority of them were. And they admitted it. And it gets you nowhere, by the way. It gets you absolutely nowhere. I can speak for myself. I get offered things all the time. I don't accept them. Right now, I don't accept sponsorships or anything like that. I just don't want to do that. I'm fine. I don't need to be greedy. And I have enough to do already. It's kind of hard to keep up. Thank you for all the subscribers, by the way. It's been a spectacular month, especially the last week. I don't know maybe it's from Collider. I don't know what the hell's going on. I haven't put out a ton of content, and it couldn't be for Doctor Who, but we just passed 206,000, and that is fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Oh, and we'll talk about Doctor Who a little bit too. The Witcher is fun, says Swaggerman. Dug it. Yeah, it's fun. What really saved it for me was the initial woke stuff at the beginning. And it's still there. Like, oh my God, the little girl who's talking to him in the first episode, her whole speech about wanting more is, I mean, that was pretty, it's like a feminist speech. You know, it's like, I want more. Men are keeping me down, this village. And okay, go out and get more. Who's stopping you? Except for your, feudalistic society that you're in. But what it does, though, it makes up for it in the end. It ends up showing both sides of the story. Everything gets answered, like the powerful women have powers, or it's explained, or we actually care about that. You know what? Caring about a character goes a long way. I can forgive some OP-ness or whatever if I like the character, and especially Anya, I forgot her last name, who the young woman who plays Yennefer is really good in her role. She is. She's very, very good. So I bought it. I bought it. Now, I only read one book, so forgive me for that. The Witcher 3, I started to play it, and I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to have to take a day off from YouTube and play it. I can't concentrate on a video game when I feel like I have things to do. Especially, yeah, well, thank you, Jay. Thank you for the 206,000. Yeah, it's crazy. I never thought I would get to 6,000. And a year ago at this time, I was at, I think I just passed 30. And just a year and 2 months ago at this time, I was at 5,000. So, I mean, if I can do it, if Jarbo can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody can YouTube. Anybody can YouTube. I didn't see The Dark Crystal. I didn't see it. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I like the movie and everything, but maybe I think I'm getting old. I'm like, I cannot watch fake puppets for hours. So, yeah. I'll watch the Venture Brothers again or something. All right. Let's get to some viewer activity here. And excuse me while I sip. I feel less bad about it since Ricky Gervais was drinking a beer that whole monologue. How about Tom Hanks? And better yet, Jonathan Pryce's dirty look at that Golden Globe thing. That was priceless. See what I did there? By the way, to the entire crew at Pete's, apparently they watch me now, and they give super chats. So to the young dudes and the young ladies over there, thank you for always having a smiling face when I walk in. Thank you for remembering my name, because I go to the gym right down from you. I have been going to that gym for 5 years straight every day, and nobody knows my name there. But Pete's, they knew my name within a week. Thank you for always being cool and firing up my day. So hail Pete's at Stonestown near San Francisco State. It's a good place. Troy A has joined up at the proto-molecule level. Or Tony, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm seeing two things at once. Tony A, welcome to the proto-molecule level. You will have a cool little emoji badge there very shortly. Poper lives 34 links for 99 cents and a little wink. Thank you very much. Back at you. Hail Gary. Hail Fandom Menace. Ricky Gervais is all of us for $2, says Chappie. Yes, he is. He spoke for the common people. And at the end, he was serious. You can tell. You could see the look on his face. He's like, just shut up, get your award, thank your God, and F off. Of course, they wanted to go on and tell us how to live our lives. And I explained it in my video. Do we need a Golden Globes award? Is it even necessary? What does it exist for? So a bunch of stars can show off, circle jerk each other, give themselves a fake award, thank ridiculous things, when that money could have all been donated to fire relief in Australia or Mali, Africa. I don't know what the situation is currently right now, but one of Mrs. Nerdrotic's clients, what she does is she tries to help get schools opened for girls in Mali because girls aren't allowed to go to school there. Because America's so bad. But Mali, I don't know about it right now, but this was a few years ago. Girls could not go to school. It's against the law. So when they opened up a school for them, people would arrest the girls or worse. So if you think America's bad, I want you to remember that. So one of Mrs. Nerdrotic's friends, who's a big-hearted, great human being, does that. Maybe the money could have been better spent doing that. I'm just saying. I could think of a few things. Cleaning up the poop in San Francisco so we don't all get the bubonic plague or whatever. I don't know. I could think of a lot of things I would rather do than watch the Golden Globes. The only reason I'm talking about them is because Ricky Gervais told Hollywood to fuck off. That's the only reason we're talking about them. And the era of the movie star is pretty much ending anyway. I mean, how many big movie stars are there now? How many movies would you go to because it's starring a person? You know, that's what used to drive it. Burt Reynolds was in a movie. We have to see it. Clint Eastwood was in a movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a movie. Now it's like, maybe Tom Hardy? Maybe? I'm more of like, it's not even director driven that much. I mean, outside of Chris Nolan and Matthew Vaughn, I can't think of much I would go like immediately see because it's directed by this person. Yeah, those are my top two. Nolan, who, I don't know, I've actually gained way more respect for him in the last couple of years. I think he's probably the best director in Hollywood. I can't wait to see Tenet. That looks great. And yeah, everything else is bleh. I'd rather watch, I can't wait for season 2 of The Witcher. I'm interested in season 2 of Altered Carbon. Season 5 of The Expanse. Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Less excited. I'm going to explain that in a video, but it looks like they're going to start connecting it to the Disney trilogy, and I'm out. Absolutely out. Don't give a fuck about The Mandalorian if they start bringing in First Order and explaining how Grampy Palpy, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to use The Mandalorian to explain away the rise of Skywalker some more. So I'm not even going to cover it. Fuck it. Don't care. Done. I don't even want to accidentally support Disney Star Wars. We are not cool. We are so far from cool. The fandom isn't put together. And by the way, it's not the Fandom Menace's responsibility to put them together. Okay, we're just simply a reaction. We didn't create this problem as much as the Access Media wrote 3 goddamn articles in the last week. By the way, that's my next video on how it's our fault. And we're conspiracy theorists now because we do fan shit. We talk about theories and, well, hey, what about a JJ cut? And you know what? That's what fans do. And the Access Media has turned into the fucking jocks. That's what they've turned into. And you know what? Most of the people in the Access Media, I mean, there's some nerds there. There's some legit nerds. But you know what? Nerds can become what they hate. And that's what this is. The Access Media has turned into the fucking jocks. Now, some of you might not know what I'm talking about, but the jocks were the people who gave us shit in junior high and high school, and for liking Star Wars. They call us space cadets and worse. So, yeah, that's what they become. So fuck them. And Collider was part of that. Yep. Even though there was, again, I guess there was some good, like Jonathan Schnepp. Everybody seems to like this guy. Listen, I didn't watch him. A lot of people have respect for him. He looks like the one nerd there for sure. He was the one nerd, and may he rest in peace. But I didn't watch much of him. I didn't watch. Back to that Collider thing. Listen, this is how it goes, by the way, in a live stream with Nerdrotic. I am like a pinball machine, and this helps. So, back to that live stream, and for one, he was hiding behind his mic. Did you see that? He's all, hey guys, I'm really sorry I fired you. I didn't know you could hide, a man that big could hide behind a mic. So the 2-week notice thing, he should have given them more notice. He used them to get through the holidays so they could cover the fall of Skywalker. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Collider gave up all that stuff when there's no more Skywalker saga to talk about. I mean, there's still stuff to talk about, but I think that's interesting timing. And I think it's a foreshadowing of things to come. But on the flip side of that, it's up to the employee to give 2 weeks notice to his employer. I think I was around 40 when I realized that is total fucking bullshit, and I'll never do that again. And I didn't. The day I quit Tesla, for one, when I walked into work that day, I hadn't intended on quitting. But by the end of the day, I quit. And I didn't give a 2-week notice. I'm not going to give a fucking 2-week notice. For one, here in California, they can't say anything bad about you once you leave. Short of offing somebody. An employer cannot besmirch you in any way, shape, or form. It's law. So you can leave whatever the hell you want. You don't have to give a 2-week notice. And why should you? If they don't give you one, why should you give them one? I've seen both sides of the coin. I've been a business owner. And I let people go immediately. I pay them and let them go immediately, even if they do give 2-week notice. So, yeah. I hope they find work. Here's unsolicited advice. I'm full of it here on YouTube. If you're part of a big group, a big collective, get your own thing going on the side. If you're a contractor, for one, don't sign any contract that doesn't allow you to YouTube on your own channel by yourself, and set up a little studio at home on the side, because what you're doing is you're at Collider and you're building an audience and you're using their platform to build your audience, and then you could just import it over to your channel. Boom, done. Problem solved. You'll probably get paid better. But to just rely on that job and not do anything on the side, that's kind of on them. And listen, here's that foreshadowing I was talking about. And this is grim. This is bad news. I don't actually like talking about this. That's what's going to happen to YouTube someday. Someday, YouTube is just going to stop. Because they're not making money. That's what they say. They say they're not making money. They can't do that forever. I know people don't take that seriously, but YouTube says they're not making money. Google is not going to not make money forever. I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but if they're not lying, if they're truly not making money, this platform will shut down. And we'll be all, whoop. So it's up to all of us to work on that plan B. And it sucks. And we're not going to get a notice. We're not going to get a notice, folks. We're going to go and log in one day and go, wait, well, be like Vine. What happened? Is Vine still around? Be like Vine. Boom, gone. Trust me, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And, how many times has that happened to me in my life? I've been working to a company. I'm going to work, going to Upper Deck, going to go cut some baseball cards. It's an awesome job. Yes, I used to work for Upper Deck way back in the day, and I was cutting baseball cards. The doors were locked, and I'm like, hey, guys, you going to let me in? And then another guy showed up and said, why aren't you in the building? I'm all, because the door's locked. And, we didn't find out till we went home. Until we went home and we got a phone call that they shut it down and moved it somewhere else. So that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Hey, all in Nerdrotic. I used to watch Star Wars, but the current one has made me want to not collect Star Wars. I am collecting Battlestar Galactica, G.I. Joe, Transformers. And Spawn. Yes, find new stuff. Find new stuff. Find old stuff. There's plenty of it out there. To get into. I still love Lord of the Rings. That's what I collect. I just collect the Lord of the Rings stuff, old Doctor Who stuff. I watch classic Doctor Who episodes. I'm actually fine. There's plenty of entertainment. And there's plenty of new stuff to keep me going. I just like Star Wars. Star Wars was a constant, but nothing is. And it's kind of incredible how badly Disney fucked it up. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to see, just objectively, backing away from it dispassionately. Because I'm not a fan anymore. It's really amazing how much egos can fuck something up. You can have the best minds. You can have the best people. Listen, on paper, it looked perfect. Despite what I say about Jar Jar Abrams, this is before the fact. Everything looks great. Jar Jar Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, George Lucas is going to consult. Bob Iger's been buying the shit out of stuff, and it looks like he backs off and lets people work autonomously. And and at the time, he hadn't fucked with Marvel. Everything looked solid. solid. And wow, did it get fucked up because of agenda. It was simply that. It was, they got cocky and they thought they can start influencing minds through Star Wars. So they get the shithead who directed Looper, who, I mean, God, he must have been the most insufferable douchebag in film school. Rian Johnson. Just, I bet you everything was just great. Everything was great. He's almost got that reverse thing where, you know, you're so insecure, you're narcissistic kind of thing going, you know. James Constantino for $5. More will come out to condemn the hypocrisy of the elite. Agenda-driven entertainment is being exposed more every day. James, it is. It is. And I hope I am alive when that comes down in Hollywood. When it goes down in Hollywood, because it's going to go down. Somebody's going to talk. Somebody's going to crack eventually. There's no way there isn't massive skullduggery, we'll say. I'm trying to avoid language that can get me shut down here. Skullduggery going on in Hollywood. Tomfoolery. Buggery. We'll say buggery, right? And you can see the people who didn't like it. Jonathan Pryce, who is in one of my all-time favorite movies, straight up looked like one of the evil men that he plays. He looked like the evil dude in Taboo. He looked like that. Tom Hanks. Mr. Golly Gee, Tom Hanks. For one, Tom Hanks, shut the fuck up, dude. You were in a movie about hookers at a party, and one of them had sex with a donkey, okay? And it was a good movie, by the way. I liked Bachelor Party. It had Oingo Boingo music in it. But come on, Tom. The Virgin Connie Swale, Tom Hanks. Come on, dude. You used to be cool. See what happens to him? Yeah. This is why the world needs comedy. The world needs comedy. They're all embarrassed right now. Do you think Tom Hanks is happy he's a fucking meme right now? It probably doesn't understand it, but good. We need to mock them. We need to embarrass the shit out of them, and this will get it to end. This will truly get it to end. Not completely, but mostly. I mean, there's still going to be jagoffs like Damon Lindelof. Nice comic shopping video collider with Damon Lindelof. Oh, God. Celebrity-driven content. Yeah, that's what we need on YouTube is more celebrities. Ugh. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. And you are correct, sir. John Matrix for $5. Collider's problem was they were out of touch with their subs completely. The fans voted Revenge of the Sith fourth best in the saga, and the shills lost their mind. Yeah. It for one, it is, okay? Flat out, it is. It's Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, or you can flip them if you want. Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. Yes, I agree with that completely. Over Rogue One, over all the Disney stuff. Revenge of the Sith is better than all of Disney Star Wars. Mandalorian might be better, but folks, with the Mandalorian, I watched it a second time all the way through. I'll speak for myself. I think I was taking it easy on it because, you know, I want Star Wars fans to be happy. I want them to have something. And this is what they have. It's really not that good. It really isn't. If you look at it, like it's not sophisticated at all. And I need that a little bit. And maybe that's the 50-year-old, and I know it's not made for me, but it should be. It should be made for, you know, ages 5 to 50, 5 to 60. There is stuff. Doctor Who did it for a long time. For a long time, they did that stuff. And once they start connecting it to the Disney trilogy, I'm really gone. But the slow episodes felt slow, and I'll talk about it in my review. Starlancer for 75 UYUs. I don't even know what that is. All hail the long man. Yes, Mahler, my friend Mahler. Well done. He has all my respect, and at least on my part, I feel like he's my friend. He's a good guy. Hopefully, I meet him when I go to Wales. Although you have to indoctrinate him more into the Expanse, Gary. Hail the Phantom Menace and hail the Toxic Brood. I think, unfortunately, he got indoctrinated by the Word of Wolf instead of me. And if he would have done that, I think he would have seen that it's a better show than it is. Word of Wolf comes at it purely from a book perspective, which, listen, I can't argue that. I can't. If you read the books first and you want a better adaptation, I'm not going to argue about it. That's his opinion. I know they hate that over there, but listen, that's what it is. You can't argue a man out of his opinion. The Expanse is a good show. It's a very good show, and the books are bad. They're straight up bad towards the end. They recover. I had a hard time reckoning this in my head, but dudes, books 6 and 7 are bad. They're bad, woke, SJW, bad. And they get a little better in book 8. But book 8 is female-centric, which is fine. But, I mean, it's like over the top female-centric. It's Alex gets a little bit of it. Our main character is out of the picture. And it's like they can't do that in the show. The show won't be able to, they're going to have to change that. And that's going to piss off book people even more. But honestly, I was already pissed off. If you guys read the books, Michio Pa, that's all I've got to say is Michio Pa, a character that they wrote out of the show. Thank God. She was insufferable. But yes, the Expanse show is genius, Starlancer, and it's the best show on TV. Flat out. End of story. The Witcher The Witcher's more fun than the Expanse, but the Expanse is better. Glenn Saunders for $5. Gervais only attacks celebs mouthing off. He didn't challenge the propaganda embedded in our actual entertainment, so only half the battle. Glenn, he basically told the celebs to fuck off. No, I am fully aware that Gervais believes a lot of the political nonsense that they push. He just told them to shut up. It's progress, not perfection. And I don't need to agree with everything somebody says. For one, like, again, I don't want the politics to go the other way in our entertainment. I will be just as vocal about that. Maybe I'll lose some friends. I don't know. But I've already lost some on the other side. I don't want to see that either. I want to see both sides represented equally. That's it. That's all. Fairness. Instead, because if you don't do that, it looks like propaganda. And it is propaganda. And you're trying to put it in absolutely everything. And even if it's shit I agree with, I don't have a side, okay? I just don't. But Bill Burr said it best on Joe Rogan. He admitted that his side, and he said, I'm a big lefty. He said, my side is the crazy side right now. And yeah, that's fact. Sorry. That's too bad. I don't know. I think more of us should kind of, I don't know. I try to live life by the issue, not by the side. I don't like to have my political scorecard checked out for me by somebody else. I can do it. I'm an adult. I can do it on my own. I can read the voter. I read the voter book. I know I'm an idiot. I read my entire contract when I bought my house. I read the voter book. I want to know what I'm signing. I got fucked over once. I don't want to get fucked over again. Eric K for $2. Happy Wednesday, Gary. Happy Hump Day, Eric. And I did get your email, by the way. I got it. Okay. I saw it on my phone. Hump Day. Damon Reed is welcome to the proto molecule level. Damon, I am privileged to have you here. Thank you for your patronage. Toss a coin to my Witcher, says Adara Scarlet to $2. Don't forget to toss a coin to your Witcher, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Oh, Valley of Plenty. Hail, Gary. Anya Shalatra portrayed Jennifer. Anya Shalatra. She's great. Thank you, Nicholas Pounds. When I saw pictures of her, I thought she was like a little girl. She looks much older on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Art Swanson for $5. Your channel growth is on you, man. Relatable, trustworthy, fun, and informative. My fandom is saved. We'll always remember this time. Thank you, Gary. Art Swanson, that is the nicest thing. Thank you so much. Wow. I will try to keep that up. I promise you I will not get that polished. I might get a better camera. Maybe. I think I'm going to go to XLR with my microphone. That's about it. I worked too damn hard on this office to abandon it. And listen, it doesn't work perfectly with the light. It's too blown out. I don't give a shit. I was building this office from the day I sold my store to make it a podcast studio. And I wasn't even planning on like having video. It was supposed to be a podcast studio. It was just for me to be surrounded by my little plastic pals. And it worked out. And there's all kinds of shit you guys don't see that's over here. It's pretty amazing, actually. Maybe someday. I have a action figure of Trump sitting in the Iron Throne, just to trigger people when I want to trigger people. And I got Legolas. I got Eowyn over there. I got my Eowyn action figure over there because I love Eowyn. Listen, Lord of the Rings was very, very. It wasn't a trope. It had a strong woman in it. And this was in the 50s when she saved her uncle. King Theoden, my favorite character in the movies. Hail Pete's, keep Gary Brood. Don't think we have it here in Las Vegas. You did, Nod Nar, but it was in one of the hotels, I believe. I will get back to you on that one because I did look when I was in Vegas, which I'll be returning to Vegas very soon. Very, very soon. Art Swanson, thank you. Project. I don't know my Roman numerals. XVII. How's that sound? For £2. I hope Hollywood dies this decade. It could. I said it in my video. There could be a time 100 years from now when people go, do you know people used to write scripts and pretend in front of cameras and get paid millions of dollars and people used to line up and watch that stuff? Weird, huh? That's so weird. That could happen. Nothing lasts forever. You know, in the 50s, if you would have told somebody that baseball is in decline, they would have gone, you're crazy. But yeah. You know, in the early 1900s, if you just said, boxing used to be the biggest sport in the world. If you told somebody it's just kind of an irrelevant sport now, they tell you you're crazy. 487 Sean Tower for 10 Canadian dollars. Just a thought. I watched an old movie, How Green Was My Valley. Many of the major themes hold a lot of relevance today. Why they cannot make remakes of these masterpieces instead of co-opting and destroying? Because it would require thought. And the only reason they remake basic stuff is it's less work. It's out of laziness. They don't want to innovate anything and they don't want the risk because everything has gotten so expensive. It requires a lot of outside money from China, the Middle East to finance these massive movies. And these people want a return on their money. And Hollywood is big on overpromising shit. So when you were making a blockbuster, it was never, ever supposed to be a guarantee. It's a big crapshoot. But now they're trying to lessen that, which is impossible to do. You lessen the risk. You lessen innovation. You don't get anything good. The Joker was considered a cheap risk at $50 million. That's how crazy movies have gotten, by the way. Joker was a cheap movie at $50 million. $50 million would set you and I and our grandkids and our grandkids' grandkids and our grandkids' grandkids' grandkids for life. And that's that's one cheap movie in Hollywood. Things have gotten a little out of control. And when these people tell us how to fucking live and they go to work to pretend. So like Russell Crowe is working on a biopic about a real person and they paid $500 million to make this movie and he's in a trailer with two hookers in it with a bunch of coke who are blowing him whenever he wants and he can blow the blow and get the blow. And then he gets on and he talks about the environment, which is fine. We can have a discussion about the environment somewhere else than on this channel because I don't care. I care, but I don't want to talk about it here. But a little self-awareness. A little self-awareness. You know what? I'm not a rich dude. I'm not. I worked my ass off in my life. I also got lucky with some timing. But I don't come from privilege. I don't. My dad did very well, but I threw all that away. I came from nothing. I came from the streets. I lived on the streets. I was dumpster diving, and I'm a moderate thousandaire, and I still wouldn't think to tell you how to live. That is not my place at all, because there's so many people who have it so much harder in the world. And they're watching. There's some people all over the world who are watching. I mean, like, a large portion of our world doesn't know where they're going to the bathroom or eating or getting fresh water. So we should shut the fuck up. We really should. And maybe listen more. I don't know. And maybe do what we're good at. Entertaining people. Hollywood used to be very good at that. I said in my video, I used to love award shows because it would just be celebrities talking about their movies. And yeah, they were still wearing expensive gowns and stuff, but they weren't as preachy as they were now. And I'm talking 20 years ago, a long, long time ago. The preachy thing has been pretty bad lately. But there was a time where, in the 70s and stuff, where they wouldn't preach. Once in a while, they'd say no war or something like that. And that's it, Marlon Brando would refuse an Oscar and mumble something and and go buy an island. Dude was insane. 200-watt studio for $2. Already canceled Disney Plus. Good. It's pretty easy, actually. Would you like me to read it to you a little later? I'll tell you all how to cancel Disney Plus later. I did that with HBO. I suppose I can do it with Disney Plus. Let's see. Let's go. How to cancel Disney Plus. Oh, they have a little thing for you right here. That is great. Hang on just a second. I'll share it with you all. Window capture. We don't want that one. We want this one. Okay. And we're going to bring that up there. Self-produced show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have the campia polish, and I don't have ladies reading my super chats or people. I edit all my stuff. I make my own thumbnails. And yes, I do write all my own descriptions where I misspell shit all the time. Maybe I should get somebody to help me with that. All right. So here we go. This is how you cancel Disney Plus. Head to www.disneyplus.com. Number 2, log in with your Disney Plus username and password. Number 3, on the profile, click on the profile icon. Number 4, select account from the drop-down. Number 5, select billing details. Number 6, select cancel subscription. Number 7, to cancel Disney Plus, click complete cancellation. There you go. I'll repeat it just because I really want you to cancel it. Head to disneyplus.com, number 1. Number 2, log in with your Disney Plus username and password. Number 3, click on the icon. Number 4, select account from the dropdown. Number 5, select billing details. Number 6, select cancel subscription. Number 7, to cancel Disney Plus, click complete cancellation. I thank you for your time. And don't forget to cancel your Disney Plus. And subscribe to Nerdrotic. I have to admit that was a little fun. That was terrible, but it was fun. Don't forget, I did that with HBO as well. So just in the interest of fairness, because I'm all about, tough but fair. That's what we are here. Tough but fair. Thank you, 200-watt studio, for the $2. AKA Blonded for $5. Glad I stumbled on the live stream this PM. Good. All right, Gary, good to see you, and everybody here. Good to see you too, aka Blonded. You stumbled on in here. That's good to see. By the way, every Monday, Wednesday, 10-ish, mostly 10, but 10-ish, I'll be here. Junior's back in school. I go do my little workout, and I do some show prep, which I read a couple emails, and I watch some videos, and then I talk. That's the way it goes. But LT Showcase for $10. Congrats on the amazing growth, brother. As a Witcher 3 gamer, I found the series great. Faithful to what I know while progressing in its own story. Henry crushes it in every scene, and Yennefer is spot on. Yes, Henry's great. When you see it in action, it's great. Even the ball sack armor from the Nilfgaard is not that bad. It still looks like a ball sack a little bit, though. It does. You can't unsee ball sack. Damon Reed, thank you for the £2, Damon. Cheerio, Damon. Labakop69 for 100 PLNs. Hey, Gary, I very much love your work. So, fuck Disney with their Star Wars. I would rather watch Ewok porn version of Hamlet than this travesty. Oh, no. Somebody's going to make that now. No. Oh. Also, can't wait for you to play Witcher 3. You will have a blast. Man, I'm doing it today. Fuck it. I'm doing it today. I'm going to play Witcher 3. I'm going to play a video game. And you know what? I'll record it. I'll give it to somebody. I'm not going to do it live. I'm not into completely embarrassing myself. Although I do it every day by going live, so I don't know why I'm worried about it now. Lady Gravemaster for $5. I will go see Keanu Reeves in a movie. That's true. There's a couple. Yeah, I mean, like Keanu, Tom Hardy. But yeah, it's a stretch. Like, there used to be a time if Robert De Niro was in a movie, no matter how bad, I would go see it. Now I can't stand Robert De Niro. I can't stand that little shit. Yes, little. John Wick 4 and Matrix 4, same opening weekend. What? Going to be a hell of a Saturday. You got a Keanu for each eye. I don't, like, what the hell? Matrix 4, friends, it's going to suck. It's going to suck hard. I'm sorry. I want it to be good. I think the first Matrix is a masterpiece. The Wachowskis are they have a lot of other things going on in their lives. I don't know if directing will be their thing anymore. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know what kind of upbringing the Wachowskis had. But somebody should probably investigate their parents. I don't know. The Grand Inquisitor for $5. I won't support Pedowood anymore. Keanu Reeves is about the only actor I like because he's not holier than thou like the other a-holes. Hail Nerdrotic. Grand Inquisitor, I agree with you. And Keanu Reeves should be the example for how actors should act in this modern era. Again, I have no problem with somebody being rich. If you got your cheddar and you got it entertaining people, I mean, part of that is making people happy. That's great. It really is. When I go to Beverly Hills, I'll drive through the mansions. I don't get jealous. I get amazed. I'm like, wow, this is nice. I mean, like, if I had the money, I'd buy one of these. If I had a bunch of extra money to, and after I donated a bunch to make me feel better. But the houses are nice. These big, huge yards and tennis courts. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But, I mean, I don't get jealous either. I don't, like, go burn the rich when I'm through there. I'm like, oh, cool, good for them. Great. Elton John's house is, like, the easiest one to find. It's got these giant walls around it and stuff. That being said, I think it would be better for them if they acted more like Keanu. Like, you don't have to ride the bus everywhere. I don't ride the bus everywhere. I hate riding the fucking bus. But, just a little humility and gratitude. More than that, gratitude. Just like, hey, man, oh my God, I'm getting paid so much to act. This is fucking awesome. Like that. People would understand that, Because what it looks like is you're ungrateful. Like, you're living in this country where you get to, like I said in my video, sorry, but you get to go pretend to be something, and then you come home, you're immensely rich, and you go bitch. People, you might think you're bringing attention to a cause. People look at it as ungrateful. That's what it is. That's how they look at it. So there's different ways to do things. You would think that actors and actresses would know how to be clever with their wording, would know how to be charming, but no, they're obnoxious. They're obnoxious. And Ricky just told him so. Again, I don't agree with Ricky's politics, and go watch a couple of speeches. I mean, he's as whack as the rest of them are, but he said what needed to be said. So good for him. Hi, Gary. Are you using any mailing list technique to keep your followers in case YouTube kicks the bucket? Felipe Abrigo. I cannot track all of my subscribers because if you guys have them anonymous, I can't see if you're subscribed to the channel. Yes, I do have a list of you. There is a list that exists. But that's the only the ones that don't have your subscribers hidden. Like, mine are hidden. You can't see who I'm subscribed to. I don't know why. I might change that because I don't care. Yeah. I subscribe to hundreds of people. And I try to watch as many videos as I can. Pretty much everybody in the Fandom Menace, I am subscribed to and I watch their videos. I watch all of their videos. And no, I don't speed them up. Like Sporking News Podcast, I watch his videos. Bear Nerd Fun, I watch his videos. Author Stephen Walton, I watch his videos the minute they come out. Mahler's video, I soon as it hit my phone, boom. I couldn't get my finger to the phone fast enough to hit yes on that. Jeremy, even his stupid late night, they're not dumb, but they're stupid that they come out so late. His late night videos, watch them all. Yeah, I watch them all. I support my friends. Plus, I actually care what they say. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That's it. Just a fan. Maybe a crazy fan. Unhealthy, possibly. I'm willing to think about that. But at a later date. Lyle Trial for 100 Norwegian krona. All hail Nerdrotic. All hail Lyle. All hail you guys. The chat, the Modrotics. I think Mahler managed to get the entire movie in his video. LF says Fatty. Yeah, I think he did too. He could have made it longer, but honestly, Mahler's got other fish to fry. Art Swanson for $2. Thank you again, Lyle. Art Swanson for $2. Ego is fear Disney. You're Yoda's next pallet fire. Maybe. Baby Yoda's cute, but they're just going to use it to explain the Disney trilogy because Disney understands one thing. The main story is destroyed now. And the only thing you can do is try to patch it up with some duct tape, but it's still completely destroyed. My good friend, the Anti-Trekker, is trying to defend the fact. Listen, if Anti-Trekker likes Rise of Skywalker just like he liked Captain Marvel, that's fine. I got no problem with somebody liking a movie. Never have. But Anti-Trekker on his live stream was trying to say that Doomcock and I are wrong about something. And we're not, son. I know you're older than me, but I'm going to call you son. We're not. Palpatine's bloodline is not cleansed unless she had a full blood transfusion of Skywalker blood and didn't die. Taking the Skywalker name does not cleanse Palpatine from the system because Palpatine's blood flows through her veins. And no matter how good, the only way she could extinguish it is by killing herself. So she went off to live alone to let the bloodline die, right? What else is she going to do? Skywalker bloodline is dead. It's dead. Ben Solo's dead. Leia's dead. Luke's dead. Skywalker defeated. Palpatine wins. His bloodline lives on. What if somebody gets Rey's DNA and clones her? Palpatine lives on. The only way she could stop it is if she kills herself. She should have died at the end of the movie. Her not dying has Palpatine win. I don't care who she identifies with. That, for one, that is some stupid logic. But yeah, you're wrong about that. And plus the movies. He also said that a good director is somebody who can competently make a film, basically. So according to Anti-Trekker's logic, who I love unconditionally, Alex Kurtzman is a good director. And he cannot go back on that now because according to his logic, if you are technically sound and you can just make a movie that gets produced, you're a good director. Wrong. Wrong. But that's his logic. So just tell Anti-Trekker, Alex Kurtzman's a good director now, based on his logic. That's not me saying that. That's Anti-Trekker. And just also, that'll be mean. I don't want to say that. I love Anti-Trekker. He said something publicly that I'll address in his stream because I don't want to do it here. I don't want to embarrass him. Brian Marson for £5. Can you see any way back for Disney Star Wars? Could the moderate success of The Mandalorian and disappointment of The Rise of Skywalker force change? Yes, it can, Brian. Disney Star Wars isn't going anywhere. So yes, I said it in my first Mandalorian review after I watched the first 10 minutes of The Mandalorian. I could tell you what they were doing. I mean, like, it's obvious. I'm not the only one to figure it out, by the way. I'm sure you all did too. Jon Favreau directed Iron Man. Jon Favreau's producing The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian really felt like Iron Man in a lot of ways. Structure, just the way the story was told, plus his Favreau's style, even though he didn't direct it. And Disney copies things. That's what they do. They don't innovate shit anymore. They just copy things. So why not copy their own success, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Problem is, that success was created by Paramount and other people and not Disney. Disney did carry it on for a little while, but they're about to destroy it. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to do one-off movies that are going to be somewhat interconnected, and then they'll have one big goal at the end, one big Thanos kind of thing, some Dark Lord at the end, and that's what they'll do. Plus, Boba Fett's a superhero. He's got a suit. He's got a flamethrower. He's got grappling hooks. He is a superhero. Got Beskar steel. He had an origin. He's a superhero. So there you go. They're going to turn Star Wars into superheroes. Yeah. Chris, so yes, it'll be around. We're not going to like kill Disney Star Wars. It'll be around. It'll just be, I mean, 10, 15 years from now? No, I don't think Star Wars will be around. I think it'll be dead. The only thing more dead than Star Wars will be Star Trek. Star Trek will be looked at like, quite frankly, Lost in Space is right now. I know Lost in Space is back in Netflix series, but it's like, it's not that great. And Lost in Space as a series just seems like a really old TV series now. That's what Star Trek is going to be very soon. Very soon. Chris Danelon for 10 Canadian dollars. Hey, Gary, thanks for supporting The Expanse all these years. I've been working on The Expanse production since season 1 and post The Expanse content on my channel. Have a look sometimes. Cheer, Chris Danelon. I will. Let me write that down. Hang on. Let me get my little book. You're welcome. Thank you for working. Truly, thank you for working on the best show on television. Thank you for treating the fans with respect. Thank you for giving us great stuff, just fun, great television to watch and enjoy with no divisiveness whatsoever. I love my Beltalaudas. I love the Screaming Firehawks. I love that the actors and producers in that show just have positive interactions with the fan base and they don't get all preachy. I mean, a couple of times they did, but it wasn't bad. They've been generally pretty damn respectful of their audience. And that is, that's what they should be doing, but I will praise it because it seems to be a rarity these days. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for the Canadian $10. We love The Expanse. We truly do. And the only thing I would, unsolicited advice, release weekly next time. Believe me, you would be much better off for it. I will be free advertising for you. I promise. Just release weekly next time. Well done on Series 4. It was fucking brilliant. Goddamn brilliant. Watch The Expanse, folks. Cracklin for $4.99. Why don't you crowdfund to pay your ANOS taxes? Remember to ask for enough to pay for the taxes for that crowdfund. Here's $5. Get you started. Thank you, Cracklin. Nah. Okay, so ANOS, I'll be very quick about this. ANOS is getting his money. He's getting it directly. I'm sending it to him. It was supposed to be sent to the lawyers. The lawyers are boomers. The lawyers didn't want to sign up to GoFundMe. They didn't want to give GoFundMe their social security number. This is after they said they would receive the money. So they lied to me. They lied to me. And then the money bounced back in my account, which I specifically said I did not want to happen because I will pay tax on it. It fucking happened. ANOS said, hey, withhold some of the money for the taxes. I'm not doing that. We crowdfunded $20,000 for ANOS. ANOS is getting $20,000. That's it. I'll take a hit. That's fine. So all the people who said I was grifting out there, suck a dick. And yeah, so yeah, there you go. And that's that. So that's that. It sucks it happened, but that's the way it is. ANOS will be, I'll let you all know when he receives his money. Thank you. Thank you, Cracklin. You're awesome. Jay Carr for $4.99. Mando is based off a Japanese show from the late 60s called Lone Wolf and Cub. Oh, yes, it is. Jay, I sold many Lone Wolf and Cub books in the comic shop I used to own for 10 years in San Francisco. Everybody take a drink. Yes, it is. 100%. Mediocre Joker for $2 New Zealand. Gervais is in front of his peers. He was ballsy, absolutely ballsy. That was a ballsy move. That's why he was drinking his warm beer like those Brits can do. Yeah, it was well done. It was very well done. We needed it. It was a watershed moment. It was the pendulum swinging. It was the winds of change. Hollywood needed a giant middle finger extended to it, and thank you, Ricky Gervais. That's all I've got to say is sincerely thank you. Please, more people do that. More comedians do that. You want to get immensely popular overnight? You know what? You've been struggling as a comedian for a little while, or you want to make a name for yourself? Do something like that. You will be very, very popular. Maybe not with the people in Hollywood, but with the people who actually pay for shit, the customers, you'll be popular here. Maybe you should focus more on that. You know what? It's a new era. It's a gig economy. There's crowdfunding out there. You don't need those fuckers anymore. Step outside of that shit. Be here for the people. We'll take care of you. You're good to us. We'll take care of you. As much as The Mandalorian is very meh, Baby Yoda is what Ruin Johnson wishes Porgs could be. This is true. And that ATST was more menacing than the entire First Order. Good point. Have a nice day, Gary, and steady road to 300,000. Starlancer, thank you for the 150. Yeah, I mean, The Mandalorian was better than anything Disney Star Wars has produced, period. And that's because of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. That's it. Jon Favreau should be creatively in charge of Star Wars, and I think it'll probably be digestible for people in the future. I won't be a fan. I'm going to be honest. I'm not. Unless they resurrect Luke and Mark Hamill plays him and they redo the Disney trilogy, I ain't coming back. Matt Adams for £5. Hollywood needs to get its head out of its own ass. It does, but I think it likes it there. I think they are really comfortable with their heads up their ass, Matt. They don't want to listen to us anymore. They want to dismiss us. They want to degrade us. Half their clientele is deeply offended constantly, all the time. You know, this is how I relate it. You know, my mom is Christian Republican. My mom is Christian Republican. So what am I supposed to not like my mom anymore? I mean, what I mean, a bunch of she used to love some of these actors and actresses. She can't watch them anymore because she feels deeply offended by them because they're calling my mom a Nazi. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it like that. Maybe even some of us who are individualists and in the center, our parents, our sisters, relatives, some of us got Democrats and Republicans in our family. We're supposed to not talk to each other anymore. This divisiveness is bullshit. And Hollywood could have been the place to be relief from all the divisiveness. I'm not saying solve it. Nobody can solve it, but you could have been, occasionally presenting like an expanse where we can just not think about it and get involved in this world and enjoy some escapism and not think about, what's going on in the real world. And, also keep some perspective, realize that social media is not the world. Don't let Twitter upset you by what's trending. I did notice Coachella was trending over World War III for a little while, which brought, which was good for the soul. But realize that like Twitter's not the world. Don't get too worked up about this stuff. As somebody who lived through the Cold War, it's not that bad. Okay, trust me. This isn't like the Korean airline getting shot down, and we're at DEFCON 4 with a country that could actually annihilate us. Yeah, it's not like that. Iger Edenbeast Tozik for 250 rubles, maybe? I don't know. Hey, Gary, big hails from Serbia. Oh, that's awesome. Hail, Serbia. Imagine next TV show on CBS called Star Trek, Captain Jane T. Kirk. Oh, no. You just gave him an idea. Oh, they're going to do it. Oh, my God. Sex swapping Kirk. I don't think Doomcock's helmet could save him if they actually did that. I would actually be worried about my friend Doomcock at that point. I'd be worried about myself. Holding out for a hero girl for 10 pounds. When you come to Europe, will you make a meet and greet in the UK? Yes. I would come. Will you also meet the critical drinker? Absolutely. I want to meet them all. But absolutely. The critical drinker is cool as hell. I was on one of his live streams, and I will link it on Twitter. It was with him and Bulls Trek. I had the best time. What a nice guy. And again, thank you, Critical Drinker, for having me on your channel. It was an honor. He is upper tier YouTuber. Mauler, Rags, Word of Wolf, Critical Drinker are all way above me. Way, way, way above me. And I'm totally okay with that. They're really good YouTubers. They know what the hell they're talking about. And they're much better at talking about it. And I'm just glad to know them. It's nice. It's fun. So subscribe to all of those. To Rags, to Word of Wolf. I don't know if he's on YouTube anymore. Definitely Mauler, definitely Critical Drinker. I'll recommend those. I can't recommend them highly enough. This is a side note. These are not controversial. This isn't a controversial YouTuber, but it's one I like. Men of the West, which I guess they talked about me in a live stream. I don't know if it was negative or positive, and I don't care. They do Lord of the Rings lore. It's really good stuff. It's good stuff. She Aziki for $2. What was the British black lady Lando's daughter? Yes. And I guess they cut that out. I guess they cut it out. I'm not sure why. Don't forget to hit that like, ladies and gentlemen. It helps. Dunik Munav. Yes, that was supposed to be his daughter, and I guess they cut it out of the script according to the leaks, which are now called conspiracy theories. You just got to ask yourself, as far as the leak is concerned, who would sit down and write that just for lulz? Really? I guess somebody could. That just looks like it would take a ton of time. Adunik Manav for 100 something. Love and respect from India. Whoa. Disney Plus is never going to catch up here, which is a huge market. No. What's the biggest streaming service there, by the way? And you could just answer in the chat. I bet you it's Netflix, right? Or Amazon. Yeah, Disney Plus is so far behind. It's stupid. It's really stupid. Red, and that's great that you're watching in India. That is so cool. Red Pilled Simp for 10 pounds. Nerdrotic. What is the ship hanging in front of the Enterprise? The one which seems to do a flyby on the port side of the Enterprise. It's driving me nuts. I don't recognize it. Okay, hang on. I got to look at my camera here. I'm pretty sure it's the Orville, right? Okay, so yeah. So that's the Orville. Orville. That's the Enterprise. That's a Klingon bird of prey, right? No, I can't. It's hard, but yeah. There. Klingon bird of prey, Orville, and then the Enterprise. Here, I can. Here. See? And then there's the Rocinante right there. There you go. That's what's hanging above my head. Hopefully they don't fall down on my head. I have more stuff over here. I have Vipers over here. Hang on. Is that going the right direction? Yeah. See, I got some Eagle Moss Vipers and more Enterprise. Yeah, I like my ships, okay? I do. And I hang them from the ceiling. That's what I got when I was at the Star Trek convention. I bought Battlestar Galactica stuff just to piss them off. Oh, now it's all uneven. There we go. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to make you dizzy there. All right, now we're in trouble. It was all set. Yeah, it's going to be a Dutch angle. Hope you don't mind that at all. Let's get back to this. Charles Thompson, how's it, Gary? Love the channel. Huge Lord of the Rings fan myself. Ever play MERP when you were a kid? No. What is MERP? I'm sure it's some. Hang on, let me go look it up. That probably wasn't what. I was a kid a long time ago, by the way. So I was a kid in the 70s. Middle Earth role-playing game. Okay, MERP. I did not. But that was when I was a kid. Yes. Oh, I totally had this book, though. I had this book. For sure, because the little Frodo with his with Sting. Yeah, I recognize that. Oh my God, I haven't seen that book in years. Yeah, you're right. Middle Earth role-playing game. Cryogenic for 25 Rons, and he doesn't have anything to say. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Joshua Tabor for $10. Disney Star Wars will be one of the biggest Hollywood blunders ever. Yes, by far. Books are already being written by Stephen Walton. That'll come out soon. But there will be other books written as well. Ichibaka is writing a book. It is one of the biggest mistakes in the history of Hollywood was not having Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill together on screen. That is a giant blunder. It is a giant blunder. ActionCom for $5. Isn't the political tilt that celebrities have taken because they know they are on the outs? It's the only way to stay relevant. ActionCom, that is very astute. Yes. It is the last desperate move to remain relevant because yes, celebrities are on the outs. Nobody cares about that shit. You know what? You could thank your TMZs and stuff. Once we started seeing them in their daily lives, we just lost respect for them. And once we see them, well, I mean, look at Felicity Huffman. She's in jail for, bribery. There's people who have done worse. And now they're calling out cops all the time and stuff. Do you know how many cops have looked the other way for celebrities when they, are passed out drunk in a car or have a bunch of coke and just the cops let them go because they're a celebrity? That might not happen much anymore. Modalicious for $2. No fans are mental gymnast. Non-fans are mental gymnast gold medalists. Yes, they are. Including Collider. Gabe Tricks for $1.99. I like Favreau, but he's still boys with Iger. So yeah, Gabe Tricks. And season 2 of the Mando, I'm thinking it was a bait and switch. El Rey interviewed John Carpenter. That's awesome. He said if he didn't get his movie, the fault was his and no one else. His movies stand the test of time. John Carpenter is a legend, Captain Spire. Thank you for the $5. And directed one of the greatest movies of all time, Big Trouble in Little China. That's right. Have you paid your dues, Jack? If I paid my dues, the check is in the mail. I only drive as fast as I can see. It's all in the reflexes. I'd be down for a do-over if they hired me to write it, says some nobody for $2. I'd be down if they hired you as well. Matt Becker for $1.99. The Joker director should take over Star Wars. He should take over genre, Matt Becker. His philosophy, I don't know if he should direct it directly, but the philosophy should, yes. I think every genre thing should be put on a specific budget now. Period. Where was I? That sucks. It jumped on me. Mediocre Joker for $2 New Zealand. Hashtag, you are good to us. We will take care of you. I like it. Yes. It's a simple formula. It really is. It's called good customer service. Be respectful to your customer. They will take care of you all the time. Way to do it. Luke gets Yoda old. New storyline. Yes. How about just, I don't know, timelines? It's too late. I mean, it is so done. You can fix it by remaking it in 20 years, which I'm sure Disney plans to do. And then they'll probably fuck it up even worse. So, shameless plug, Dungeon Maker RPG on the Play Store, says Helio for 20 Mexican dollars. Nothing. Do shameless plugs. I don't care. That's fine. We're all in this together, man. It's all good. Casey Osowski for $5. It was great to hear someone say that what we all think. Congrats on your success. Thank you, Casey. And yes, how many times I've watched the monologue 7 times. 7 times. It's so good. It's so good. RR for $4.99. Toss some cheddar to your nooner. Hail Nerdrotic. Thank you for another great nooner. Do you have a guesstimate when the exozone will return? Thank you. Tomorrow. I'm thinking it'll return tomorrow. How's that for a guesstimate? Stay tuned. I got to talk to Doomcock, but I don't know if I can do the exozone every week. I just don't. And I don't know if he can either. We're going to have to talk about it, but I would like to try. Especially since there's a big void now in ufology. Grant Kelbrick for 70 Zardoz says, hey, Gary, congrats on your fantastic channel growth. Onward and upward, my friend. Why, thank you. Come visit Cape Town sometime. Love to meet you and show you around. That would be great. South Africa. That would be cool as hell. If I ever go down there, I'll let you know, Grant. Drake is 6 for $5. Expanse Weekly, you could do it live reviews on your Inquisition with Doomcock instead of reviewing shit on Sundays. Well, I don't know if we're even going to review Doctor Who on the Inquisition anymore. I don't know if I'm going to continue the Doctor Who episodes from here on out. I am told are terrible, like awful. Like we saw the best. But even if you're not a fan of Doctor Who, folks, you have to see what's going on because Doctor Who is actually reaping the consequences of what they have sown. They were woke as hell last year. There is a subset. Dave Cullen talked about this in his video. By the way, Dave Cullen put out a couple of fantastic videos. Go watch them. He talked about this. There is a subset of the Doctor Who fandom that is freaking evil. I mean, they're evil. They're worse than Star Trek fans. They're worse than Star Wars fans. They're straight up evil. And they mostly go after Bowles, Trek, and Noel. If they go after me, I don't notice it, but Bowles, Trek gets it pretty hard. That's who Doctor Who is made for now. So it's made for this really small group of nobodies. And it used to be a show for everybody. And it sucks. And people don't even care anymore. They just don't. Digby Strawbridge for £5. Thank you. And Adnuk Manav for 40, I think it's Indian dollars. Love from India. Disney Plus will never catch on here. I think I read that already, but I'll read it again. And thank you, Digby Strawbridge, for the £5. Patricia for 5 rubles. Brazil. It's Brazil. Brazilian dollars. Patricia. Hi, Patricia from Brazil. Man, it's an international nooner. I love international nooners. You know what I'm saying? I think we all do. So we can all celebrate an international nooner. Patricia for 5 Brazilian dollars. I love Brazil. I love all kinds of Brazil. Greetings from Brazil. Andre Sapowski said his job as a creative
consultant for The Witcher is to make sure at no point Ed Sheeran makes a cameo. Yes! Yes! I love that, Patricia. That is so funny. Ed Sheeran. Okay, listen. I understand there's ginger side in the world, but Ed, go sing your little songs in your mansion in the English countryside and just go away. I know people like them. I don't. My music has to be very evil and loud for the most part. Evil and loud. I'm old. I have not mellowed out. I still listen to Suicidal Tendencies, The Subhumans, Iron Maiden. Yeah, I like my shit loud. My ears are still ringing. Lobak Cop 69 for 50 PLNs. PLN is currently, Polish dollar, home of The Witcher. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 50 Polish dollars. The home of The Witcher. So greetings from Poland, Gary. Here is a little something for you for your Be Happy fund. Also, the next robot in the Disney Star Wars movie should be named R2STD2. That's good. We love Poland. Home of The Witcher. You guys should be so proud. So proud. I wish you'd translate the rest of the books. Wish that would. Grant Kelbrick from South Africa for 35 South African dollars. Huge Lord of the Rings fan myself. Best strategy game to this day. Battle for Middle-earth 2 and the Witch King add-on. Still play it to this day. I might play that. The Witch King of Agma. Yes. Lady Mist for $5. Got rid of HBO, not buying anything Disney on your good advice and want Disney and HBO to know it. Nerdrotic because, to know it went to Nerdrotic because it's much better to watch. Oh, Lady Mist, that does my heart good. Thank you. I'll try to be better than HBO and Disney. I might have to show some boob at some point, though, to compete with HBO. I don't know if I can do that. Dick Rowe went to his grave known as the man who turned down the Beatles. JJ, please, is it true you used to own the Beatles? Hashtag JJPS. Is it true that you used to own a comic book shop? Shine on. Norwegian Kryptonian, thank you for the 55 Norwegian Cronin. Shine on, you crazy diamond. It is true. And I love Pink Floyd. Nicholas Horton for £5. Oh, my God. I saw an article online the other day about some new signals were received from outer space recently. Yes, Nicholas, that will be mentioned tomorrow. We're actually getting quite a bit of them now because, the technology's better. Now, it could be binary stars or pulsars or something like that, or it could be an intelligent race coming, let us know that they're going to eat us all. Maybe. Exozone with Tim Pool in real life. I'd have Tim Pool on. I like Tim Pool. Lance Higa for $2. Thank you. I like Tim Pool. I'm small potatoes for Tim Pool, though. Birdie Eve for £2. Have fan edit of Hobbit films 3 into 1. It's awesome. Oh, man, I want to see that. I would love to see that. Final Death for $5. Where is your Ricky Gervais burns down Hollywood action figure with the Golden Globes playset and Tom Hanks tears accessory? It's being made. I want a Mego of that, though. I want a Mego. Damn it. Mr. Body Massage Machine for £5. Rewatch DS9 in the pale moonlight. Garrick was such a great character, by the way. Do you listen to Incubus? No. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm not an Incubus fan. No. Not an Incubus fan. I'm not a Linkin Park fan. No. But if you like, that's cool. Yeah, okay, for those of you in Australia, hang on. A friend of mine used to be in a band that was pretty big in Australia back in the early 2000s. They did okay in America. They did a song called Seeing Red. Unwritten Law. Anybody heard of Unwritten Law? The bass player is like one of my best buds. Is Pat Kim. PK, Pat Kim. So I don't know. I always meant to ask people in Australia, was Was Unwritten Law really that big down there? Because they used to tour there all the time. Like Pat would always go to Australia. Seeing Red, that's a good song. But no, I'm not an Incubus fan. No, I like really hardcore evil shit. I do, and in the Beatles and Pink Floyd, and your basic classic rock. Andy Cervantes for $55. Sad to say, this my beard is better than yours. Just kidding. That's okay. It's not Star Wars anymore. It's called Woke Wars. BS aside, thank you for making my days happy. Thank you for making my days happy. Oh my God. What's this? What's up with Joseph at Blast? You guys make my day so much better. Joseph Blast, what are you doing in here with your $10? Yo, Gary, been trying to buy one of your snazzy shirts, but both my computer and work and home tell me my site is unsafe. I want a t-shirt. Miss you, man. Hug you. Big hugs back, Joseph. Mixed teas. It says it's unsafe. Hang on. That's not good. Here's where you get a t-shirt for Nerdrotic. For right now. And this is the guys at the Popcast they did this for me because they're nice. But here you go, Joseph. It's links in the. But Joseph, hit me up. Just tell me your size. Joseph, email me at gary@nerdrotic.com and tell me your shirt size. Okay. Just Joseph is he does a comic called Space Punks. I know him from way back in the time I used to own a comic shop. We met Joseph at the Alternative Press Expo. Joseph is a really nice person and a very talented artist who lives in Chicago, one of the greatest cities in our United States. Yes, I love Chicago. I do. Maiden fan, nice up the irons. Yes, I'm a Maiden fan. God damn it. Hell yeah. Andy Cervantes, thank you very much. And let's get to the regular chat here. Regular chat. The other chat. Ministry. Yes, I love Ministry. I put the t-shirt link in, Nancy. It's there. Let me know if it works. Here, I'll do it again. Here it comes. Here it comes. I got you. Let me know if that works or not. I should have a shirt that say I used to own a comic shop, but I won't do that to you guys. Not that narcissistic. Tom Hanks is really Palpatine. He is. There's rumors about Tom that I won't talk about. But I used to really like Tom. Okay, I back in the 80s, again, Bachelor Party was a horrendously good movie, but it was bad, but it was good. What's up, sexy Odin? How are ya? How are ya? The Nooner's back. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the Nooner has returned. Yeah. So Collider, back to Collider. James McDonald. I am so sad for my favorite show, Doctor Who. I am too, James, and we'll talk about that. So, with all of those people who are now out of work, which I'm not happy about, they all have to build their channels now, and they're going to see how not easy that is. So they're going to get a bump like nobody else gets because they used to work at Collider, but that bump will only go so far. It only goes so far. You're going to be surprised how many people will not follow them, even though they know where they are, they know to look, and they just don't think to subscribe. I believe Collider has lost 25,000 subscribers in a few days, which is insane. And it's all because they did it pretty sloppy, but I don't know how you do something like this. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. The only thing I can think of is the learning experience I had from when I had a comic shop was try not to rely on too many people. Unfortunately, I mean, the bigger the group, the bigger the problems become. I mean, it's awesome to have other people doing your work and stuff, and some people can do that stuff great. Like Jeremy's really good at that. I'm not. I'm flat out not. So I'm better. I work. I might have a helper or two, but that's it. I wish them all luck. And I would recommend to really not shill. Like I don't know if you can gain the audience trust back again, but once that's lost, that's lost. There's a lot of people you can ask about that. Ask Jarbo about that. Once that's gone, that's gone. I guess you could build stuff back up if you're humble. Again, the audience isn't stupid. Don't treat them like they're stupid, and maybe they'll come back. But you know what? It does hurt overall. YouTube did not have those shows on Collider. I will admit that, even though I didn't watch them, I know a lot of people did, and a lot of people really enjoyed them. But they weren't getting the views. Those must have been crazy expensive to put on. But he could have just made it cheaper. You didn't need a studio. You could have just had all of those people do a Skype call from their houses and still had the show. And what do you have to have? A certain kind of quality? Not really. Not if you're getting 9,000 views on the thing and you expect 500. I mean, just fuck it. Make it cheaper. And then you can keep the show. Nobody cares what it looks like. Nobody gives a shit what things look like on YouTube. Actually, I think it works against you having a slick studio and reading off of teleprompters and stuff. Like, no. That stuff, that's old fashioned. That stuff is gone. You got to be able to just talk and ums and all. Who cares? Give it to me that way. One of my favorite things to watch right now is the Fourth Wave live stream. And that is Bear Nerd Fun. And it is Stephen Walton. And it's Sporking News podcast. And a bunch of up and coming YouTubers. I like it. And it's just four dudes talking. That's what I need. It's nice to see the ladies talk once in a while. There's Geeky Candy out there. Her channel's blowing up. Mary Mayhem, her channel's blowing up. That's good. That's good. What's up, Bjorn? Nobody sure. Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks. That's right. Dragnet. The Virgin Connie Swale. Hey, Gary, just watched season 1 of Marvel Daredevil. Wow, I'm blown away. You weren't kidding. Very gritty and realistic. Puts many MCU films to shame. Yes, Riff Rocker Dawn. Daredevil season 1 and season 2 are the best things Marvel has ever produced live action. Period. I will argue anybody. I mean, Winter Soldier is a good movie. Guardians of the Galaxy is a good movie. But where spectacle cannot be made up is story. Daredevil tells the best story and has arguably the best villain in the Marvel Universe, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, played to perfection. And I read Frank Miller's Daredevil more times than I can count. And he is the Kingpin. And they really capture. I was totally against Charlie Cox being Daredevil because he wasn't a ginger and they didn't even dye his hair red. And then he sold me. I freaking love that show. I have it on Netflix and I bought it on Blu-ray. That's how much I love it. Season 3 was a bit of a downer. It's still better than most things, but him not being in the costume, it was okay. It was all right. But seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil are on a level nothing else Marvel has ever produced. The Kingpin chops a guy's head off with a car door. I mean, that's the kind of shit that Disney, frankly, is not going to be able to do. And they're in trouble. So I'm glad you watched that on my recommendation. Yeah, if you haven't seen Daredevil, you're missing out. I mean, it's gritty though. It's gritty. It is gritty. Hi, Gary. Love the channel. Did you get a chance to see the new Dracula on Netflix? I did like it, but I am not sure if it's a bit woke. Zedek Thomas for $100. All right. Well, I've seen the first 2 episodes, and Mrs. Nerdrotic and I never got around to watching the third. We will probably do that. It's probably because I've been busy. Do that in the next couple days and review it. It's pretty woke. It's pretty woke. It's pretty cheesy. I don't mind that. I love British cheesy. But every time it takes 2 steps forward, narratively, it takes 5 steps back. The female Van Helsing The actress is good, but she gets written so over the top, annoying, and is able to get out of every situation. And it's the Van Helsing show where she's outsmarting dad bod Dracula. The positives, the camera it's shot on is unbelievable. I mean, like, the shots are beautiful, crisp. They look so good in 4K. There is some legit horror scenes in it that are very, very good. It's the best and worst of Mark Gatiss. Mark Gatiss is not, I'm not a fan of Mark Gatiss. I like Moffat a little bit, but I'm not a fan of Mark Gatiss. And it's the best and worst of that. They format it like Sherlock, so it's 1.5 hour episodes. It's too woke, though. I mean, it's got it like, oh, for crap's sake. I'm blanking on her name now. I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm going through a live stream brain fart. It is Dracula's girlfriend. The one played by Winona Ryder. Mina is bisexual in the 1800s and open about it. Huh? What? And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, about Dracula being bisexual, I can buy that. He's hundreds of years old. He's been around the block. He's been jaded. He's probably sticking that thing wherever he can to get some kind of kicks. And we know he doesn't really enjoy that shit anyway. He just wants to drink blood and feed. So that I don't have a problem with as long as it doesn't like completely take over. Well, one of the first lines uttered by Miss Van Helsing is asking Mina's, I'm blanking on his name now. Keanu Reeves played him. The lawyer. God damn it. Asking him if he had sexual intercourse with Dracula. I mean, that's how they start the show. And you're like, and it's such a try-hard line. Again, there is some good. There's like some zombie scenes that are really, really good. Really, really good. The guy playing Dracula is pretty good. They make it a classic look, which I like. The universal classic monster look. I really like that. So, it's too woke. Van Helsing, again, the actress is good. She's annoying, though. It gets annoying. Even Melissa was rolling her eyes. Like, I'm aware that I might be sensitive to it. So, it's nice to watch something with Mrs. Nerdrotic. And she said it was a bit over the top, too. But I still need to watch the third one, and I heard that one's the worst. Hey, Gary, just watched... Okay, I read that one. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Dracula. But those are incomplete thoughts because I've only seen the first 2 episodes. BBC messed with the War of the Worlds. Nothing is sacred. Dracula, yeah, I heard about that. How could you mess with the War of the... You know what? Fuck the BBC. I'm so pissed at them. I'm angry about Doctor Who. I am angry. Listen, I guess it's pretty obvious I like the show. I forgot to turn on my lights. That's why it looks so dark back there. I forgot to turn my accent lights. Yes, Winona Ryder played Mina in the Coppola movie. Mina is just reduced to a screaming little girl and a bit of a trick in the first episode. I mean, there's some like legit good stuff in it too, though. I mean, it's a mixed bag. It's a real mixed bag, but it's pretty woke. The first episode is the best. The first episode is by far the best. The second one, they're on a ship the whole time, and it's not very good, honestly. It's okay, but the first one's really good. I'll say the first one's good. I enjoyed it. BBC, Boy Buggering Corporation, DJ Pito. My. Prison story time with Gary. Oh, bastard, I forgot to do that. Yeah. Should I do that on my first Nooner? Should I really do that? Wow. You know what? Yeah, we can end it with that. I promise that on the live stream. Woo! Thank you for reminding me, I think. All right. Okay. Let me get a sip of coffee here. All right. There's a YouTuber out there. We're not going to name this YouTuber. I honestly, I don't know if this happened publicly or not. That's why I'm not going to name the YouTuber. That accused me and Doomcock of being racist. Because of our reviews of the Wokeman. I will recap my thoughts on the Wokeman briefly. The Wokeman, which was written by a white man, was try-hard wokeness and political correctness to hit all the woke beats that you can possibly hit. Imagine like your most poppy pop song, and it tries to hit all the beats in the right place so it can be number one. And it's by Taylor Swift or whoever these pop people are that I don't know. That's what the Wokeman was. Wokeman was basically porn for woke Hollywood. And again, it was written by a white man, and they exploited a truly horrific event in our past, the Tulsa massacre. And it was a massacre. Okay. It was listen, it was a lynching and a massacre. It was in the 1920s. Not a proud moment in our history. Okay. Really wasn't. But it was reduced to a cartoon within this fake superhero movie with middle-aged frumpy superheroes and a bus driver substitute teacher as our main character. All the white people were bad. They disrespected all the major characters. They essentially remade The Watchmen, except with girls who were smarter, destroying the character of Ozymandias, destroying the legacy of Rorschach, and fuck it, spoilers, killing Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan allowed himself to be killed so he could come back and give his powers to an egg, and then that egg gets eaten by his girlfriend and she might be able to walk on water. And not fucking kidding. That's how the fucking story ends. It was fucking terrible. There was a good episode in it. There was a good story that could have been told here, but it got completely sidetracked by agenda and symbolism. For fuck's sake, there's a throwaway scene where Madame True, who was the female Ozymandias, who was his daughter by artificial insemination because the smartest man in the world kept his semen in his office, where a housekeeper found it and put it in her vag. So she had a daughter of Ozymandias, and of course she was smarter and better. There's a throwaway scene where she buys a baby. She buys a baby that would have been Superman. And it was supposed to be the Kents and da-da-da-da, and it turns out to be something else. But it's fucking dumb. And it was offensively bad. And that's it. That's my review. I don't know if you heard any racial overtones in that review. The star is a black woman, but I don't treat them any different than I treat anybody else. Now, I am not saying the world is equally fair to all people, because it's not. I understand that. I absolutely understand that. I have a very unique perspective on that, which I will get into in a moment. But I can criticize whoever I want. And whether they had it, whether somebody's had it harder than easier, I look at each person as an individual. Of course, to some, that is a racist point of view, but it's not really. I just look at people as individuals because you're all different, and you're not a hive mind. And I try to treat each individual with respect. I have no respect for Damon Lindelof and Jar Jar Abrams and Alex Kurtzman, because I see through the... Listen, they're perfect for millennial entertainment. They're perfect entertainment for people who aren't going to pay attention to the entire show. I get it. I'm sorry, I expect a little bit more. And listen, I'm not as hardcore on shit as other people. I'm not. I've generally liked everything. That's how I was able to sell a lot of comic books. I don't have a really small, enclosed taste. I have a pretty broad taste in things. I like a lot of shit. And that's how I was able to sell comics. I wouldn't be able to do that if I only liked like 1 out of 100 things. That's just not how it works. All right. So YouTubers, I guess, saw a piece of that review and said another YouTuber should have called us out instead of this person directly calling me out. because we're representing the fandom menace and we're giving them a bad name. And I don't represent the fandom menace. I represent Nerdrotic. I represent me. And I don't back off of any. I stand by 1,000% of my statements in the Inquisition and the Watchmen. I wouldn't change a single fucking word. Period. Okay. So, I mean, listen. Does everybody have a bias? Yes. Is everybody a little bigoted in some aspects? Yep. Does everybody masturbate? Yes. Okay. We get that out of the way. So when I went to the big house, I didn't know a lot of things. I was very young. And I found out two very hard lessons immediately. There is a disproportionate amount of black men in prison. Period. There was more black men than there's white men, and there's more white men in this country than there is black men. There is a disproportionate amount of black men in our fucking prisons. That's a problem we need to solve. I don't have answers for it. I will also say I didn't meet any innocent people when I was there. Sorry. So both are true. There's a disproportionate amount of black men in prison. I did not meet anybody innocent. I met some very bad people. My first couple of days there, I'm eating a tray of food. I'm sitting across from Mark Gator, who was in jail. His last name wasn't Anthony. It was a skateboarder who killed a girl down in San Diego. Used to be a famous skateboarder. And I'm sitting next to another guy. He's a black man. We trade some food. You know, I can't remember what the food was, but I remember I gave him my cake. I didn't want my cake. And I think it was like fries or something like that. So we traded food. I didn't think anything of it. Traded food. Got some fries from the black guy. We said thank you, right on, and went about my day. I ate the fries, got 2 steps, and got a fist in the face, like immediately. Like I didn't even have time to react to it. I got punched in the mouth. Fucking was on the floor. My mouth was bleeding. I got up, and it was a couple of white dudes pulled me aside and said if I ever ate after a black guy again, they would kill me. That's straight up. So prison was racially segregated, and it was considered bad for white people to eat anything after a black person. It was considered dirty. I mean, that's the way it was in there. This is the first time I realized I had principles in my life. I didn't know what the fuck that guy was fucking talking about. And, I'm looking down 2 years of my life in prison. I want to get out of there alive, right? I do. But I also don't want to live like this. I don't want to get like that dude. I don't want to be like this. So I told the guy to fuck off. Because basically I didn't care whether I lived or died at this point. I was like without hope. I was coming off of drugs. Life was shitty. The guy hit me already once. It hurts, but I knew the guards were going to come. And I honestly didn't want to play any fucking games anymore. Plus I was really cranky because they took away my cigarettes. So all I wanted to do was fucking get someplace where I could smoke and not fuck with anybody. And I'm not going to play these fucking jailhouse games, racial fucking bullshit. I didn't want to play it. It got me in a lot of trouble, but I never did. I never did. I never sided with those racist fucks. And even the black people were telling me like, dude, don't take food from us. It's okay. Which was funny, but honestly, it's disgusting. And, like I said, there was bad people. But I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to walk out of there a racist fuck. I wasn't going to walk out of there a changed person. I got in a lot of trouble because I did a lot of drugs, but I wasn't like this evil, violent person. All right. I didn't hurt anybody. I mean, I hurt people peripherally, but I didn't physically hurt anybody ever. Never laid a, other than like getting in fights with people. Like I've never assaulted, never touched nothing like that. Not a violent criminal at all. Just a, drug addict. I was just a major drug addict. So learned my lesson there. And that was one of the many times my nose has been flattened on my face, by the way. My glasses kind of cover up, but I got a busted ass fucking nose. It's funny is I got the same thing Anna has. So Anna, for that Star Wars girl, has a tear duct, right? That she had to reconstruct that she can breathe out of. I got one of those too, but mine is from I did so much meth, my tear duct collapsed, so they had to drill a new one in my nose. So I can, because my eye wasn't irrigating, and it was really gross. I got an infected eye, and I almost lost my eye because the tear duct stopped working. So they had to make a new one, which was painful as hell, by the way. So I digress, and it might have been partially from like me getting the guy who punched me was huge. It was fucking huge, but the reason I got out of that was the guards did eventually come. I told the guy to fuck off. I was fully expecting to get like pounded right there. And I was like, okay, if this is how I go, this is how I go. Again, it wasn't really bravery. It was, I just lost all hope. I didn't care. I didn't care anymore. But I wasn't going to go out like that. And that was the first time I went back to my cell and I just like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me. You know, I guess a lot of people would just say fine and pretend to play the game, to be safe. I wasn't going to do that. Not in there. And I spent the rest of my time minding my own business generally. I didn't get involved in shit. I didn't leave my cell a whole lot. I read a lot of books. I worked out once in a while. Didn't make a lot of friends. Didn't want to make a lot of friends. Wanted to be just left the fuck alone. Unfortunately, you spend 2 years in a place like that. You can't. You're in an enclosed environment. People will always fuck with you. And you got to fight. That's it. You can't not fight. And that's it. That's all. And as far as all the buggery that goes on in there, it's all consensual. Don't listen to those people. They all want to. I mean, I didn't, but there's a lot of ways I know I'm not gay. And that was like getting through prison, not gay. So, but there's a lot of people who are willing to put that on vacation, their straightness on vacation, and shit like that. So, yeah. So for people who want to call me a racist, I'm not saying that definitively proves I'm not a racist. There nothing is. That was a long time ago, but I've bled for my principles. How many people have done that? And like, listen, this is America. This is nothing. There's people in other countries who are in jail for their principles, who are in jail because they're gay, or being thrown off a building because they're gay, or there's countries where that's illegal. So I'm not going to grandstand and say these are some great principles. There's people in other countries suffering for their principles because they believe in Christ in the wrong country. You know, that's fucking principles, willing to die for that shit. So bleeding is one thing. But, you know, coming out and calling somebody a racist when you're a little fucking doughboy and you sit in your fucking room all for 10 fucking years and your life experience is handing out movie fucking tickets, get fucked. Seriously, get fucked. You want to pretend to judge my life or Doomcock's life, you know, dick about both of us. And you don't hear me saying that about other YouTubers. I would never, ever, ever say that about another YouTuber, as much as I didn't like them. But yeah, I got a huge problem with that. Sorry. I apologize. But that's that. That's dealt with. That did bother me because I don't like being called that, especially by that person who has used the N-word on YouTube before. Something, again, I would never do. I would never let my two grown boys do. I have a 14-year-old and I have a son who's in his 20s. And he's 6 inches taller than me. And if he used that word, I'd still smack him upside his head. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. But I can criticize a movie starring I can criticize a TV show starring a black woman. I can criticize multiple TV shows starring black women and white women because I don't see it like that. They're not critic proof. You're not fucking critic proof if you're gay or you're black. You're not. You're not. If you suck, you suck. That's equality. You know, that's equality. And if it's great, it's great. Guess what? The Expanse is great. The Expanse is fucking great. It's got Dominic Tipper who plays Naomi. Great. This season, they didn't do her character justice in a couple of ways, but that's not Dominic Tipper's fault. And she She's very good at what she does. So Project, thank you very much for listening to that. I promise my patrons, that's also a response to whether I'm racist or not. You can judge for yourself. You can judge for yourself. But in an environment where I was told I would be killed if I ate after black people, guess what? I ate after black people all the time. I offered them my food. We traded food because that was the only stupid pleasure I had in there was smoking cigarettes, playing dominoes, and fucking eating. And the food sucked. But like, it's hard to fuck up a cookie and a piece of cake. Okay. And like that, we did it all the time. And you really find interesting ways to make ramen. That's a story for another day. It's a story for another day. Okay. So I hope that person was listening and they take that to heart. Dracula can't get a boner. No heartbeat, says Bjorn for $20. That's true. And honestly, this Dracula looks like he needs Viagra. He looks like he's my age. He's in good shape, but he had a little fat roll. He has a little, not as much as Doughboy, but we're doing our fourth wave show today on my channel. That is Final Death Star for $2. There we go, right there. And Final Death Star, will you email me the link to your channel? Because I can't link it from here at Gary@nerdrotic.com, and I'll throw up a link in my chat, okay? And I'll probably be watching later. Will we ever see SC reviews on Friday Night Tights? Asked Norwegian Kryptonian for 22 Norwegian krona. Absolutely. I love SC. I know there's a big time difference, but I will reach out to him. Dude, I love that guy. He is so good. Good YouTuber, funny as hell, gives no fucks. I love people who give no fucks. Those are my favorite. They're my favorite. Mr. Body Massage for £2. Is that Guy Gardner behind you? Yes. Wait, I gotta look I'm looking at the wrong screen. Right there. Guy Gardner. Good call. Good call. Extra points for naming the superheroes behind me. Terrence Bernard for $5. Agenda or not, good writing resonates across the board. Problem is media's risk adverse, patronizing, and Faustian to newcomers. Time to boost indie. Woo, Terrence, big words. Faustian, right on. Yes, it is time to boost independent content. It really is. Unfortunately, the Fandom Menace is not Comicsgate. We can't produce our own TV shows. We can't produce our own movies. It's just not going to fucking happen. That's a pipe dream. That's millions and millions and millions of dollars we would have to come up with to make something subpar. But we are making our own content here. Okay, what we can do is be entertaining, try to be funny, try to be informative here. That is so weird. I think my phone thought I said, "Hey Google," and it started writing down everything I said. So what I was saying is, we got to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to have to get them to change. See, Comicsgate couldn't get Marvel and DC to change, so they did their own thing. Totally logical. I get it. It made sense. We're not going to get Disney and HBO. We're not going to compete with them. We're not. But we are creating something right here. So it's very different. It's very, very different. And one is not better than the other. I mean, they both exist in their sphere. Lobo Cop 69, 50 Polish dollars. Why do some SJWs think Black Panther or Wokeman are groundbreaking? I'm old, Gary. In my youth, Eddie Murphy was a superstar. Ripley was the toughest bitch there is, and we loved them without any agenda. Yes, it's not groundbreaking. The only sad thing is seeing Eddie Murphy sell out so hard to the elite, to where he wasn't even laughing at Ricky Gervais. Eddie Murphy was one of the most groundbreaking comedians of all time. He was the soundtrack of my youth. He was my favorite actor. He's in 2 of my all-time favorite films, Beverly Hills Cop and 48 Hours. And he wanted to be loved by Hollywood. That's all he cared about. You know, him and Howard Stern, man, fucking giant sellouts and disappointments. Black Panther was not groundbreaking in the sense of storytelling. Focus on, I mean, like, it wasn't bad. I don't have anything bad to say of Black Panther. It's a really mediocre movie. If it brought people joy, great. Awesome. I mean, I can't see the perspective, but I can see how some black people would see the focus of that movie as a positive thing. I can. And I got nothing bad to say about it. Watchmen is a different story. Watchmen is just woke. It doesn't move anything forward. It doesn't move the needle. It throws the finger up to fans. There's an episode called "If You Don't Like My Story, Go Write Something Better." I shit you not. Damon Lindelof got butt hurt because he won a bunch of Razzies and people fucking hated Lost. And Damon Lindelof thinks he's some sort of auteur. At least Jar Jar Abrams doesn't think he's an auteur. Jar Jar Abrams knows what he is. He does. Alex Kurtzman, Damon Lindelof think they're artists and they're just fucking hacks. But according to Anti-Trekker, Alex Kurtzman is a good director. I want you to throw that at him every time. He can't unsay that now. Some nobody for $2. I respect you. I would have been too scared to say that. Yeah, again, it was not bravery. It was hopelessness, despair. So there's a difference. But I'm glad I did. And I stuck with it too. So again, to anybody out there calling me that, go do that shit. Go do that shit. Because you're facing... So where the real Nazis are is in prison. There's not many of them, by the way. This alt-right bullshit and white supremacist bullshit. They're conflating a lot of things. The actual alt-right and Nazis are in the thousands. They number in the thousands. Okay. They're meaningless. They're insignificant, but they're a pretty damn good boogeyman for the mainstream media. You know what our real crisis is right now? Our privacy being invaded on by these giant tech companies, overreaching governments and corporations. I mean, this is shit Hollywood should be calling out, but now Hollywood's in partnership with them now. Yeah, and so is the media. They're a tool of this. So now we just use the tool they provide and they will take it away. They will fucking take it away. They would rather lose money and take it away than be embarrassed. And they even talked about it in the latest Doctor Who episode. Susan Wojcicki, when she goes to her parties, is embarrassed about YouTube. The most powerful thing on the planet. She's embarrassed by it. And yes, this is the most powerful thing on the planet. If I was the CEO of YouTube, I would demand advertisers, I'd be a dick, kiss my ring. Because they'd have to. Because you guys watch ads. Some of you watch ads. I'm not telling you to block that pesky ad. Do what you want with the ads. You can block them or not. I don't give a shit. But all the other streaming services, they're not going to have ads. This one does. YouTube wins every time. Every single time. But they don't want it to win. They don't want it to win because we make them look bad at their fucking Silicon Valley cocktail parties. I'm sorry. Did I say cock parties? I meant to say cocktail parties. Sorry. Destiny Captain for $1.99. Gary, man of peace that fights like 10 fingers. Yeah. Like 10 fingers hit me in the face and then I hit the ground. It's a really unique fighting style that I've worked out. I put my face in front of the fist and then it blasts my face and then I fall on the ground. I go a little dim for a little while. Then I wake up with principles and a couple less teeth. Some nobody. Trilogy redo. Make Luke Yoda old. New storyline. Yes. Make Luke Yoda old. I was dumb enough to think that they might resurrect Luke in the Rise of Skywalker, which would have actually gone a long way with me. It would have. I'm not going to lie. If Luke was alive again and doing stuff for 24 minutes of screen time, I might have a different opinion of that movie. I don't care how stupid they did it. And I said that. I don't care how stupid you do it. Bring back Luke and we can talk. We can fucking talk. But they didn't. So all those people who said Jar Jar was trying to make things right and fan service, JJ service, come on. What did Luke say to Rey? Basically, Last Jedi, he was a coward. He failed. He was wrong. And then his last words in the Skywalker saga was telling Rey, you have everything you need now. That's when I made the loudest noise. Of all the shit in there, I groaned. I groaned. Thank you. Thank you, Demonic Bioman. I've had a little work done on my nose, just to let you know, to get it less crooked than it is. Willie Woodward for $5. Damn, Gary. Respect. I'd love to buy you a coffee sometime and pick your brain and listen to your stories. Well, maybe I'll make it a segment on the Nooner. Oh, dude. That's not a good segment. That's not good. Willie, someday, sure. I know you're Bay Area. Let's hang out, man. I'm behind you, but props for the Witcher love earlier. Brian Baird for $5. No need to thank me. Thank the makers of that show. I am going to do a Witcher review. I hope you watch it, but I don't care if anybody does. And I'm just going to praise it. I know there's flaws. You know what? I don't care, because you know what The Witcher is? It's fun. It's fucking fun. It's dark fantasy and it's fun. That's all I want. I want a big, burly, muscly, butch fucking swordsman running around, slicing heads off of monsters and, having sex with the young maiden. And she's not even a young maiden. She's a powerful sorceress. That's even better. That's even better. And Yennefer's story was equally as good. And it wasn't some woke feminist thing. There was feminist themes in it. Certainly. But that weaving it into a good story, and then you actually get your theme across by not offending the viewer, by treating them like an adult, by telling them a real story, showing both sides of the story. And what Yennefer did, it started out with basically, I don't want to be a mom. Fuck that. And then they took it away and she's all, wait a minute. Maybe I wanted that, because motherhood, and that probably is because the showrunner's a mother. She's a mom. So she knows. Highest calling there is. Just saying. It's highest calling there is. And I don't want to get into what Michelle Williams thanked. I think you all know. I would like to thank my mom for not making that decision. My mom was fucking amazing. Okay. So my birth mother was 16 when she had me in the 60s. Wasn't cool back then. Was not fucking cool. I was delivered in a Salvation Army, not a hospital. And her dad was a Seventh-day Adventist and said she could not she could not keep the baby, basically. He was very religious. So she wanted to keep me, but she couldn't. But instead of, and it was illegal back then, but you could have done things. She carried me, had me, gave me up. So props to my mom for making that sacrifice, for being brave enough to go through that. She had a hard time after that. And I was very happy to tell her that she made the right decision. I didn't tell her a lot about the dark times of my life until later because I didn't want her to feel bad. And she didn't need to feel bad. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. Life is life. Life is good now. And now I know both my moms. So, to Michelle Williams, I'd like to thank Deborah Thorne for being an adult and being responsible. I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing. NY Kia. Otherwise, I might not be here. Remember when all we had to pretend is that Black Panther was one of the best movies of the year? Shaming people into agreeing isn't healthy. It's not. It's not. Didn't it get nominated for Best Picture? Was I dreaming that, or did it get nominated for Best Picture? Which is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's not lower tier Marvel movie. I would say it's mid tier Marvel movie. It's better than Spider-Man for fucking sure. And I liked Black Panther as a character. I've always liked Black Panther as a character. I collected the Jack Kirby Panther characters. I liked his costume. I liked him more as a human badass than basically Iron Man. But Christopher Priest wrote a really good Black Panther run in the early aughts with the Marvel Knights stuff. That was good. Mark Millar did too. Was it Mark Millar? No, that was Wolverine. But the movie was okay. I don't own it. I don't own all the Marvel movies. I only own the ones I really, really like. And quite honestly, the Captain America trilogy is the only one worth owning. I like all three of them. I really love the first one. I love the first one. Guardians of the Galaxy. But I don't know. God, this is going to anger Jeremy. But I found myself, I've been watching Snyder's Superman lately. All the talk of the Snyder cut, and I've been watching it a little more. So I don't know. Hashtag release the Snyder cut. I do. It's okay. You know, it's not good, but I enjoy it. There it is. There it is. There. It's not good, but I like it. Gary, a man of peace and fights like 10 tigers. Willie Woodward. Gary, the Phantom Menace can make their own TV. I'm on it. I wish we could. We have talented people here. Willie, thank you for the $2. I really wish we could. The fact of the matter remains, we're not going to be able to fight forever, but I don't think we're going to have to. I think Hollywood will change themselves. I think they'll realize that they don't look cool anymore. And it doesn't do a cause good if you don't really believe in it. Okay? If you're just being superficial, then eventually all those people that thought you had their backs, they're going to realize you didn't, and they're going to feel betrayed, and they're going to become your enemies. So it's best not to do that shit at all. Congratulations on passing 200,000. So impressive for a 30-year-old boy, says Woke Troll. That is reference to an article written in Istanbul, which called me a 30-year-old boy who likes to scream at, who I scream and expose plot holes. I do. I don't think I scream, though. I don't scream. Kevin Willis for $5. I liked Lost. I really did. Enjoyed the hell out of the show. Watchmen on HBO was hot garbage. Thanks for all you do. That's okay. Lost was better than Watchmen. I'll give you that. I only watched one season, so I can't speak to it. I kind of liked the first season, then I dipped out. So I have no judgment on it whatsoever. Alex Lulo for $10. Have you ever heard of Obliviscaris? They would be up your alley. Okay, what's it called again? Obliviscaris. I think that's right. They'd be up your alley in music. Also follow Become the Night. He has Saturday music live stream where they take requests to check it out. I'll check it out, Alex. I'll check it out. Thanks. I like music. I do. I used to like it as much as I like comic books. And I mean, like, I'm not like, oh, I'm a music fan. No, I was like deeply, deeply into music. I was a musician, studied it, like really, really into it. Was in bands, all that shit. Rebecca Gold for £5. Dracula, the BBC is still racist. The portrayal of black people in Dracula was terrible. The stupid guy on the boat, the uncaring teen in the third episode. I didn't see the third episode. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not a black guy, obviously. There was the gay black guy in the second episode. I thought he was more pragmatic. I thought he was more of a pragmatist. I don't think he was dumb. I don't think they portrayed him as dumb. He just didn't believe in Dracula. That's okay. They made him more grounded. But like, it still has like the thing that bugs me most. Here's the thing that bugs me most. Okay. I don't mind female leads and elevating it. I mean, like, I don't mind. It's just when you make every single white guy stupid, and it's white people doing it. It's just fucking try hard bullshit. Just mix it up. Mix it up. The Witcher mixes it up. The Witcher's pretty diverse, and it mixes it up really well. You know, it doesn't make everybody assholes. It makes just, asshole. Some women are assholes in it. Like it, yeah. Van Helsing, again, the actress is very charming. I like her a lot. She's written terribly, and you can tell it's a female written by a gay man. You can tell. It's like idealized female instead of real female. And I'm not saying men can't write women. They can. Women can write men. It's been proven in The Witcher and in many other things. Star Trek. Fucking Star Trek. And I'm talking original series. DC Fontana, may she rest in peace. Fantastic. Strong, powerful female. Brian Snell for $5. Gary, I saw you had a red line back in the day. I did. I had a mongoose. Those were awesome. Back before they sold out. Ever see the movie Rad? Yes, I have. Thank you, Brian. Yes. Those were the days. I couldn't skateboard, but I knew how to ride my bike. I was really fucking good at that. Felipe Abrigo for 1,000 Chilean dollars. R2 STD2 and Beach Ball 8. That's right. Thank you, Felipe. All out of bubblegum for $10. Greetings, Gary. Remember, if it's too loud, then you are too old. One of my dreams is winning the lottery and using some of that money to help with making a hard sci-fi animated movie like Heavy Metal. Oh my God, All Out of Bubblegum. I will co-fund that. We need Heavy Metal Magazine was a major influence on my life. Okay, that movie was a major influence on my life. That defined my taste. Like, that's what made me like, I mean, come on, it's rotoscope, but it's got a woman with the sword going in the back. I mean, that shit was awesome. It was awesome. I fucking love Heavy Metal. Such a great movie. Not meant to be watched in the theater though, folks. It's just not the same on a TV. It's just not the same. Any way to send you an image, just alter drawing. I want to show you. Joseph, if you're still here, Gary at nerdrotic.com. I'll check in just a second. Okay. Gary at nerdrotic.com. All Out of Bubblegum, dude. If I win the lottery too, we'll both co-fund a heavy metal movie of some kind. But it's not going to be, we're going to all in on this one. Real animation, no fucking rotoscopes. I don't care if it takes 10 years to make. We're going to get bands. We're going to get Black Sabbath back together. We're going to get some metal bands. That'll be great. There'll be 2 Cheap Trick songs on the soundtrack, like the original, because there has to be. Both songs are, I know Cheap Trick was like waning in their popularity, but the 2 songs on the Heavy Metal soundtrack are great. But my favorite song is Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Let These Shakes Go On. It's such a good song. Veteran of the Psychic Wars. Christopher Persia for $2 Canadian. Disney turned Luke Skywalker into Danny Rand, right? Oh my God, that's great, Chris Persia. You're right. He became a stepping stone for Colleen Wing. She became a stepping stone for Ray Palpatine. And I love, guys, I got quoted in a let's see, I put it on a tweet. I'm sorry I'm going to be that douchebag who shows off his own tweets, but here, this is where I saved it. Somebody quoted that. This is awesome. This just has never happened to me. There we go. If it all fits. Here, let's make that a little smaller. Can I? I can't. Here, we'll do it this way. Can we do it this way? Is that a little better? Un momento. That's a little better. Okay. So you can see the whole thing. And I'm not going to read it, but I just loved that I was quoted. What do you expect from the people who made Han Solo and Luke Skywalker stepping stones for Rey Palpatine? I was like, oh, it's in print, honey. Look. Yay. And apparently Nerdrotic, as it happens, was preaching to the masses. Was I preaching to the masses? But he said I snarked. No, he said I seethed. He said, I seethed popular YouTuber Nerdrotic. I snark. I don't seethe. I don't get mad enough to seethe. I was only mad in my video, and I was only mad when I got called a racist. Okay? Wasn't happy about that. So, there we go. Sorry about that. Little self-promotion there. A little shameless self-promotion. I didn't know the camera was that high. I'm sorry. A little Dutch angle there for you. All right. Where was I? You beautiful nerds, you. Max Santiago for $2. Gary, MegaCon Orlando. Come on over. It's on the 19th, Max, of April. I can't do it. Because I will be at Coachella watching Danny Elfman, and then I'm going to Wales after that. I will be in the UK in April, folks. So I'll get a meetup going. I will be at the Wales Comic-Con. Just walking around. I'm going to pay my way in, everything. Am I the only one who found Yennefer hot when she was crooked and deformed? My bad. No, Grant, she was still hot. She was still hot. You're not bad. That just shows that, hot is hot. Hot is hot. Jorge Rodriguez Barrios has a new member at the protomolecule level. I thank you, my friend. Some nobody for $2. Welcome to the protomolecule level. Again, you will have a badge very soon. I got to talk to Josiah. If they don't change, they will be replaced. Destiny, some nobody for $2. Damn, dude, that's a fact. That is a fact. That's bugging the shit out of me. Hang on. I'm sorry, folks. I got my camera got all messed up. Why is it all messed up? There it is. That's why. That works, right? Okay. Sorry, it was just, it was bugging me. Yes, if they don't change, they will be replaced. You hear that, Hollywood? Same here. Same with Collider. And what Collider did was they offended their fan base. They lost touch with their fan base. They stopped listening to their fan base. And that is what Campia was talking about, that community aspect of it. You have to talk to the people, directly, like often, all the time. Answer as many emails as you can. I'm not the best at it, but I try. And do live streams, talking to people all the time. This is my favorite thing to do. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If I could just get away with doing this, I would do this. Joe Del Rey. Oh, that was my stomach growling. For $9.99. Gary, dude, thank you so much for sharing such a personal story with us. Beyond that, thanks for continuing to be my favorite MC for nerd culture. Del Rey, Real, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. It is my honor to have you here. You guys make this so much fun, and I've had a fun year, and I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to try. Lobocop 69 for 100 Polish dollars. Your life story is great for a book. I would read the hell out of it. Also, Sapkowski used feminist and racial equality themes way before the woke bullshit. It made sense back then and wasn't twisted and weaponized. You're right. When he was writing the books in the 90s, it was kind of edgy and new storytelling. And that's why it completely makes sense now. You think about it. The Fifth Element, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Witcher, all that shit. Good shit. Good shit. Good stuff. Buffy is my favorite show. Damn it. Mahler, I'm sorry. I finished Mahler, and I have to talk about, I think we were supposed to do a live stream on Buffy, and hopefully we will still do that. The Legion of Reason for Canadian $5. I dare watch one episode of Another Life on Netflix. Just one. See if you can stand it. I will on a dare. Okay. You gave me $5 Canadian. I'll watch one episode. And I'll try not to delete myself. I'll promise. Mr. Roboto for $2. Gary, for a 30-year-old impressive beard, your beard looks real. It looks real good. Yeah, it's fake. It's fake. It's actually my back hair wrapped around on my face. No, I'm just kidding. Some nobody. Love writing women. Cud liar. Right word. It's fun. Cuddlier. I was like, collider. Love writing women. Cuddlier. Right word. It's fun. Some nobody. You got me. Max 15 is a member at the proto molecule level. I thank you. You're gonna see Miku at Coachella. Woo! Am I? I'm gonna see Danny Elfman. I'll go check out the bands in the little tents too. Best band I ever saw at Coachella? Daft Punk. Bar none. Iggy and the Stooges was the second best. 60-year-old Iggy Pop was out there and he just made everybody look stupid. He was so fucking hardcore. His pants were off. He was bleeding. It was great. Iggy fucking Pop rules. Will the retconning ever stop? How can man defeat such madness? Southeastern Kaiju. Disinterest. Apathy. That's how you defeat it. It's not even the anger. Because the anger is it's still a form of caring. Ghosting. Apathy. Never talk about it again. That's how you defeat it. Unfortunately, you have to sever that relationship too. But there's other things to get interested in. Star Wars is not the end all be all. It's not even the coolest kid on the street anymore. It's just not. All the best things about it don't exist in their world. They still exist in yours though. The EU, you know what? There's a cottage industry of EU channels popping up. Go check them out, man. RK Outpost, Lethal Lightning, all those guys. One's in and out of the Fandom Menace. Those are real Star Wars fans. Those are the real fucking Star Wars fans. Get into that stuff. OG Star Wars, I believe. Laura is the other one. Sorry. Follow those people. Those are the ones who are hanging on. Those are the hardcore fans. Unfortunately, that shit doesn't exist, but it's still the best stuff. And there's lots of it. It's like Doctor Who books. I've got Doctor Who books and comics I could read till the end of my end of time that I haven't caught up on. Lobocop 69 for 10 Polish dollars. Search Chupa Chups and Yennefer in Google, Gary. Do I want to do that? Do I really want to do that? Oh, what the hell? Chupa Chups and Yennefer. Oh, it's a lollipop. Okay. Oh my God, that's terrible. That is terrible. There we go. Oh my God. Okay. I got you. I'm going to my Gmail to see if Joseph sent that picture real quick. I don't see it. Final Death Star. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to put in the link for the channel that the fourth wave is going to be on in a little bit. It's going in the link right here. That's the Final Death Star is the name of the channel. There we go. All right. Lobocop 69. That was funny. Thank you. Ivan Lozano for $1. Thank you. Or for £1. Thank you, Ivan. I see you in your avatar. You look like a handsome devil right there. Go get those ladies or guys, whoever you like. I don't care. I mean, it's all good here. Everybody's welcome here, by the way. You're all welcome. What's not welcome is being against free expression, being against free speech, telling people what to do. Not a fan. Telling people how to, you know what? As far as pronouns are concerned, if you ask me nicely, I will probably use the ones you like. If you force me to say them, I'm going to say the opposite thing just to be an ass. Just remember that. You like Daft Punk? Go see Hatsune Miku Hologram. I will. Some nobody. Yes, I love Daft Punk. I love Daft Punk. One of the greatest soundtracks ever. Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy. I was an avid reader of Metal Hurlant, a French version of heavy metal, which might have been superior, Philip. It might have been superior. But I have to say that I am not a fan of the movie that I saw in France a long time ago. Keep up the good work, Gary. I like heavy metal. It could be better. But I still loved it. I was also, it's really good on drugs. It's better on drugs than it is sober. But it's got a special place in my heart. But Metal Hurlant, the French comics were superior. French artists are superior. French storytelling in comics is superior. Period. Like, end of story. You will not get an argument out of me. Valerian and Lorelei. That is good shit. And then, listen, this came on Razor Fist recommendation. You can get this. Razor Fist wasn't kidding in his video. They're giving this shit away. It's so cheap. So the Ruby Throne, Michael Moorcock, Elric. It's a French artist. This is the special edition. Look at that art. It's 3 books. If you're a fan of dark fantasy, you'll love it. It's fantastic shit. Oh, here's one of my favorite people ever. Paola. Paola RL is honestly one of my favorites ever. And her super chat's cut off. Hang on, Paola. I'm getting there. Paola from Italia. There she is. Love The Witcher and the soul in it. Looking forward to season 2. And of course, Nerdrotic meetup in London. Paola, if you're there, that will be great. Paola RL is a amazing support of the channel. By the way, I got to give you a wrench, Paola. I'm doing that right now. You have been knighted. Thank you for all support. She rocked a Nerdrotic t-shirt on her Twitter. It was brilliant. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And see you in London. Dharma. Wait. Let me get that right. Let me get it right. Dharma Puzeli. It's Australian. Thank you, G. You got soul, man. Thank you, Dharma. How is it? Puzzle? Dharma Puzzle. I hope everything is okay in Australia. We are thinking about you. We are praying for you. I am I'm a former resident of Southern California. So Southern California is on fire all the time. I know exactly what you guys are going through. And I just hope everybody's okay. And all your pets are okay. Because I know it's hell on humans, but it's also hell on pets. We had a pretty serious fire up here a couple of years ago, burned down pretty much Santa Rosa. And I'm sure you guys have it way worse. So we're thinking about you, okay? So thank you. And Roy Magari is at the Jaloja level. I will show you, Roy, where the P corner is. Welcome to the memberships. I appreciate you. Your first membership special will be an extended Witcher review with me and Mrs. Nerdrotic. It's like an hour and a half. And it's only for members because my audio was bad. But it's still a pretty good review. But I can't put it on the main channel. So I'm going to give it to you guys. I got to cut it together. All right, folks. I gotta wrap this up. If I missed super chats, I will go through and I will make them up next Monday. So Nerdrotic Nooner, 10 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, done deal. Friday Night Tights, 5 p.m. And there's going to be possibly another show added. I will be working. I'm going to try to find a way to hint this. I'm working with somebody on this. And it will be possibly announced on Friday. I need to talk to this person. And it's a big announcement. So keep an eye for that. But yes, you get live me 3 times a week. Exozone tomorrow. Friday Night Tights. Inquisition on Sunday. And yeah, I just got to drink lots of tea to make sure my voice stays good. Good-ish. Thank you all who are here. We had up to 3,000 people at one point. Thank you for most of you for hanging on in there. Thank you for the 1,400 likes. Thank you to the 5 new members. You did send it, Joseph. Okay, before I go, I'm going to go look for it. Where is it, Joseph? Yeah, you did send it. Here it goes. This is awesome. Here we go. Joseph, you rule. Thank you, Joseph. Look at that. I used to own a comic shop, by the way. I did. Toss a coin to your retailer. Yes. Thank you, Joseph. And stripper cat. What the fuck? I just saw that. I just figured out what that was. I'm sorry. I have the maturity level of a 12-year-old. I'm not lying to you guys. Fart jokes. You know what? Live entertainment and fart jokes. That's what makes YouTube beautiful. And I guess Collider is above all that now. And they can give us celebrity content and deep fakes instead of, I don't know, actual movie news. So again, I hope everybody from Collider lands on their feet, and I hope they do. And you know what? They're welcome here. Any one of you is welcome here. But I'm going to ask you about toxic fandom. If you want to come on the show, you're welcome. But I'm going to hit you up about that. We're going to have a conversation about that. You know what? And I think maybe to clear the air, that would be a good thing. Don't you think? I think so. I think if maybe you want to clear the air, like maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that was somebody pushing that. Steve Weintraub was pushing that philosophy, and maybe it's something you didn't believe in. Now's your opportunity to really separate yourself from it, because I would. Because that toxic fandom debate is bullshit. It's just fandom. What you end up doing is it unintendedly offending a lot of people, including the people who are your subscribers. Stripper cat, you're funny. But be careful putting too many in there. Okay. Be careful. I decided to stop being a freeloader, says Chris Burbank for Australian $2. You're not a freeloader. For Christ's sake, you're in Australia. Your country's on fire. What are you talking about? You got a mask on in your picture. Chris, you're awesome. Thank you. I will record. No, I will record my Witcher gameplay. I promise you. I do. Corey B for $4.99. As one 50-year-old Gen Xer to another, how would you number rank the film Wizards, Heavy Metal, American Pop, and Fire and Ice? Mad props from Washington State. 50-year-old WM. Like War Master? Gen Xer? I don't know. What's WM, Corey? I should probably know that, and I don't. How would I rank Wizards, Heavy Metal, American Pop, and Fire and Ice? I would rank it as follows. Ooh. Heavy Metal still number 1. Fire and Ice is number 2. American Pop is number 3. And Wizards is number 4. I like them all. It really, I can go into what's best with 4-way window pane and what's best with shrooms, but we don't need to do that right now. Corey, thank you very much. Tell me what WM means, Corey. I don't know. I probably should. There's Corey, but white male. Thank you. I should know that. All right, Corey. Thank you very much. Fire and Ice is good, though. You're right, Gail Dorn. It's good. I need to watch it again. And don't you think that, George R. R. Martin supposedly got it from a poem, The Song of Ice and Fire, but maybe a little bit from that too. Maybe. All right. I will see you next time. Oh, there's a Game of Thrones video coming. It's been a long time, but a Game of Thrones video is coming. Witcher review is after my Star Wars video. Everybody have a great day. And we will go out with Beam Me Up, which is available for free on the YouTube Music Library. Good day, everyone. And remember, not all who wander are lost. Christian gets a super chat in the last minute. Wasting money on a movie was my Mandalorian payment. Wasting money on a movie was my Mandalorian payment. There you go. You didn't waste any money if you watched The Mandalorian. It was good. It was okay. I mean, it's not great. I would say 3 episodes were good and the rest was really extremely mediocre. Was that $20 and not 2, Mason W? I'm sorry. Did I say 2? Then I meant to say 20. I'm sorry if I misspoke there. And Paola, it's good to see you. All right, good day. I had it is from the free music library, but it's called Beam Me Up. That's why I took it. Well, listen. That's my song now, Sheila. Sorry. I liked it. You guys can download it. I'll put the link in the description. All right. Don't forget, all live streams go to Nerdrotic Live. If you want to find Nerdrotic Live, it's on my channel. Go to my channel, look to the right, look for the blue glasses, not the yellow glasses. Please subscribe over there. That's where all the live streams go after they air. I unlist them in about an hour. This will be up over there just in case you miss it. If you missed any of it, just keep the link. Because the link, even though I unlisted, the link will be active. Okay, everybody? Thank you again. Thank you to the Modrotics. Sorry, that was really loud. I didn't realize how loud it was. Bye-bye, everybody.